woke.
It's like watching a bunch of retards trying to fuck a doorknob out there.
You look goofy.
Do you want to take a life? Do you want to cross that line? Because it's a long way back from hell.
Now, what you've got here is a scrotum and nothing else.
I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
Here's to the Army and Navy and the battles they have won. Here's to America's colors, the colors that never run.
May the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
Hey, what's up? Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully my mic is it's not spiking. That's good. Had that problem again. Trying to fix it. Welcome to the Monday show. Everybody, I hope you're having a good day so far. I am. And so is Spider-Man. Holy shit. And we have a lot to talk about with Spiderman. And the response to it, which is amazing, spectacular, sensational. And it has the added caveat of embarrassing the shit out of James Gunn's DCU, which just makes it so much sweeter. And it's a movie I liked. I liked the movie. I'm going to see it again. Maybe X-Ray Girl's in the background. Maybe after FNT, we should just go see it in IMAX because it's going to be available in IMAX. Go see it in Vegas. We'll be in Vegas and we'll go watch a movie because we're a bunch of fucking nerds. That's what we do. But first, before we get to the show, hi, Lady Aaron D. Welcome to the show. We're going to say hi to everybody. Bob. Hi, Bob. Grand Admiral. Hello. Lord Castle Hale. Master Austin. Jake Foreman, welcome, sir. Jay Price. Razor Burn, what's up, brother? Shoggoth, Big Papa Pumpk. Stuart Stelwart. Man, I almost tripped over that one, which isn't surprising. Gambino. Sass with a bunch of sevens. Hail. Dr. Gordo. Arnold. The lovely Sherry. You know, and Sherry is lovely. When sometimes when people, I don't know, give themselves a nickname or call themselves the emperor or the king of this, it's cringe, but it's okay with Sherry. It's all good. Big Papa Pumped again. I already said hello to him, so screw you, man. Miss Spock or M Spock. I don't know what that's supposed to be. M Spock. Tannhauser with an umlaut. I always get confused. I don't even know what purpose does the umlaut serve. I'm German and I don't know. It's actually on the original spelling of my last name, so my last name is spelled Buechler, and it's spelled Beekler, and it's fucking retarded, but that was changed on Ellis Island by the Americans because the original pronunciation is different, and it's actually Buckler with an umlaut, and I don't even know what that means. Now, one time, you put this up here. So Giorgio Tsoukalos, of all people, scolded me for doing this just for a joke. And he's all, no, that's not how you do it. I think I added the E, though. He's like, that's not what the umlaut does, Gary. Yes, I got scolded by the aliens guy, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, the Motley Crue has one, too. They're cool. I just don't know what purpose they serve other than looking cool. Bookler, yes. Reader of books. Reader of books. Reader of books who has to read them 2 or 3 times to get everything out of them because, yeah, I'm a little slow. What a weekend for Hollywood. We got to be happy for the theaters, the poor theaters who have suffered through Hollywood schlock and will continue after this historic run with Spider-Man and Odyssey. And it's great for them. I'm happy for theaters. I like theaters. I like the idea of theaters. I like going to theaters. But I know some Red Letter Media, some channels don't like theaters. I do. And I want them to stay around. And this weekend's really going to help. And we're going to hear things like Hollywood is back. Superhero fatigue is dead. We're already hearing it. And we'll get into that. We'll get into the argument of superhero fatigue because I just love the argument. It's fun because it's chicken or egg. You know, there's really no start or ending to it. It is a result. And to spoil it, it's a result of a lot of bad movies. If half the movies that have come out in the last 10 years were mediocre, nobody would be talking about superhero fatigue. If half the TV shows that Disney Plus put out were mediocre, we wouldn't even be talking about superhero fatigue. So, yes, it is ultimately stuff is bad. But how does that affect the good stuff? That's the question. And can we have a Hellboy movie or another Rocketeer? I was about to say The Crow, but just leave the fucking Crow alone. It's one good movie. But, you know, solo superheroes that are not part of Marvel and DC. Make another Mask movie. I don't know, make a movie of a superhero you've never made. They exist. They actually exist. And the answer is no for now, but maybe Spider-Man changes that. And then when you make that movie, will it be good? I think the one thing you can say people are fatigued on, I don't think anybody's going to argue, is cinematic universes and multiverses. I think everybody's fucking done with that shit. A Spawn movie. Master Chris, how has there not been a Spawn movie? What are you doing, McFarlane? What are you doing? What's up, Axel Foley? How's it going? So yeah, we'll chit chat about that. We'll also be doing some squaring up. Hi, Eric. How's it going? Oh, Eric, I'll call you later today. I got to call you. You sent me a message. It was in my brain. Then I got distracted as usual. So I'll give you a buzz later today. Vegas is coming up, as you guys know. And I just noticed, I don't know why. Penis. I love the chat. So Vegas is coming up. It's Vegas week. Let's go. 6th annual FNT Vegas meetup. And yeah, it's full. 18 Bin is the location. 18 Bin Bar and Grill. There it is, highlighted by the wonderful X-Ray girl in the background. It's probably still a little tired. That's okay. We're just running her ragged and then all of her other jobs. But 18 Bin. And it you could check out, it's got a nice outdoor area. There's going to be food. There's going to be drinks available. Are we doing a round? I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. Mrs. Nerdrotic and X-Ray Girl have been handling this. So yes, it will be August 6th on a Thursday. 6:30 to 10 p.m. Why do we do them on Thursday? Well, because it's tough to get these places on the weekend. So we'll see you there. Hope to see you there. It's going to be tons of fun. Oh my God. X-Ray Girl, the Halo guy that Jeremy got. I know I'm the guy who composed the Halo theme. I'm blanking on his name right now. And I only know the Halo theme from Az reciting it. You're muted, X-Ray Girl.
Martin O'Donnell?
Martin O'Donnell is going to be there. Yeah, Jeremy informed me that Martin O'Donnell is going to hail Jeremy for getting that. So that's awesome. And he'll sign your Halo copies. Also, AJ from the Y-Files will be joining us. It's going to be tons of fun. We're going to do an in-person FNT from the podcast God, I'm going to get it. Is it the podcasting studios or the podcaster studios? Sorry, Matt. But we'll be going live from there, and it's a great place. We might do another show from there. Yeah, there you go. Podcaster Studios. It's just a 15, and it is a 15-minute trip from the Strip. Hey, that rhymes. But yeah, that's where we have done FNT for the last 3 years. And it's been great. Matthew Kadish rules. And if you're a content creator and you'd like to use their studios, I highly recommend it. They have everything. Absolutely everything ready to go. It's a good business. So, and then there's Americon at the end of the month. I want to just bring this up because Dean Cain is confirmed. So Dean Cain will be there. If you want to meet Superman, it's $11.55. And that all those proceeds go to Texas veterans. So it's a benefit for them. It's a con. So there'll be like little booths of people selling stuff. Maybe I'll be selling some stuff. Maybe I'll pull some stuff off the wall. And we're also going to make it part of like raffles and stuff. So there you go. It's going to be great. I'm taking off, I think tomorrow. Yeah, I'm taking off for Vegas tomorrow. But we have today. Drugs? No. The unsub guys will be there. They're former cops and special forces. And then there's me. I don't know. It's odd. There was Brandon was nice enough to ask me to introduce him at a fundraiser. And Ken Paxton was there. I got to meet Ken Paxton, but my whole speech lined up of like, man, isn't it funny that a felon is going to be introduced? I'm like, I had to scratch that. I was like, let's not do that one. I had it all written out. I thought it was really funny, but yeah, I'm like, nah. No pot. Yeah, it's Texas. There's no pots allowed here. What did Melissa just tell me? They're gonna like start really arresting people for gummies here. I have no problem with that. Special ed forces. That's chat. There you go. Oh shit. But yeah, arresting people for gummies. You're gonna see a bunch of fucking moms. I mean, yes. I'm always a felon for the rest of my life. I'm a felon because I committed a felony. So the ex-felon, I guess, is just like I'm not locked up anymore. But you are for the rest of your life. Well, Noons, we'll find out because I'm applying for my visa for the UK today. We'll find out how they feel about it. But yeah, we're getting ready. When we get back from Vegas, I'll tell you about the UK trip. It's going to be awesome. Michael has something pretty fucking awesome lined up. Hail Michael Collins, Wandering Wolf. Go subscribe to his channel. All right. What can we talk about today? We'll start with Spider-Man, and then we'll go with Marvel being racist, confirmed. Been telling you that for years. Oh, no. No, is this real X-Ray Girl? No. Oh, no. I'm wondering what he's referring to, though. So I don't want to judge the man. Yeah, we're gonna have to go over this. Shit. Christopher Nolan calls out a real problem in amateur film criticism. So I haven't read the article, so I'm not going to judge the man before. He might have a really good point. I don't fucking know. But I would just say, you mean people giving reviews on what they saw? I mean, that's life. That's the internet. That's stuff that's always gone on. But we'll go. Maybe he's got a good point. Who knows? Who knows? Whew. And then Warner Brothers is trying to. Yeah, how come there hasn't been a Barbie sequel? How has there not been a Barbie sequel? That's crazy, right? I mean, you almost want to appreciate them for their restraint and just like do a one-off and walk away, but we know Hollywood doesn't do that. I'm streaming. Shit. Hang on. I got to turn down my walkie-talkie. There we go. Okay. Yes, we have walkie-talkies in our house. Don't judge me. Let's start with, okay, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Everybody thought it was going to be big. Everybody thought it was going to make $1 billion. I thought the first couple trailers were okay, right? And then that one trailer got me. And what got me about that one, the second to last one, is it was the fight scene where he's against the Scorpion, smashes the cop car, and just immediately goes, oh shit. And it showed like, oh my God, this is heroism, and we're gonna do heroism in a superhero movie. And then, you know, the costume looked great. Peter Parker is pretty much on his own, pretty much, not all the way. Got a little help still, but I'm like, okay, I'm down. I'm gonna be mildly excited about this movie. Why not? I'm not afraid to get hurt. You hear me, Az? I'm not afraid to get hurt. My pain defines me. Then the retrospective trailer came out. It's like, well, Zendaya. Put a pin in Zendaya for a minute. Oh, not literally, in the topic of Zendaya. And I'm like, okay, I want this to be good. I want a good Spider-Man movie. Listen, no secret, pretty big Spider-Man fan my entire life. He was my first real favorite superhero. I was introduced to Spider-Man through the Electric Company when he'd walk around doing nothing except for thought bubbles, and it's supposed to teach you how to read. My very first comic, Marvel Team Up number 42, was a Spider-Man comic. He teamed up with Vision. They were in the 1500s fighting an evil pilgrim and Dr. Doom and Scarlet Witch in a two-parter. Great comic book, by the way. Everybody remembers their first comic book. Okay. And then the collecting started. I don't want to tell you how crazy that is. I mean, owning full runs of every Spider-Man title that exists. Yes, I said runs. And very happy that they put the AF-15 cover in the book. I was talking to Flash about that. He's like, yeah, our value's going up. It's like, yeah, baby. Yeah, it is. So yeah, in the comic shop where my son was raised in a comic shop. I mean, could you think of anything cooler? Like he has no fucking idea how cool that is. Yeah, he does. So he grew up a big Spider-Man fan. He loves Spectacular Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man's one of the best everyman characters ever created. Coolest costume, most relatable. Everybody loves Peter Parker. He gets shit on so much and still remains a good dude until Marvel Comics fucked him up later. You know the story. So yes, fan man goggles on a bit. Absolutely. I said it in my video. I'll say it now. With no shame whatsoever. Yeah, so the movie drops. Now they have fan screenings, the Fandango fan screenings. I think they expanded them to 2 that night. So there was a 7 and a 10, which is a lot. And they expanded the Thursday previews to noon. So Thursday's just a fucking opening day. It's not a preview anymore. It's an opening day. And they'll expand it to 10 a.m. by the end of the year, probably. And I am looking forward to the 7-day opening weekend. I want that to happen. How about just releasing a movie when it's ready? Like, it's ready, go. Like I do a video. Like, it's ready, go. So I'm looking forward to the 7-day opening weekend. But there was chatter of it making upwards of $800 and $900 million from some sites, and we're like, that's fucking nuts. That's crazy. No, they were right. Oh, they were wrong because they underestimated. So as of last night, the international, there's an updated one. X-Ray Girl. These are old. Hang on. There we go. There's the newer one right there. So last night it was estimated that it made $355 million domestically, which would make it, without adjusting for inflation. And listen, I am an inflation bro, so this does matter. But they're saying it beat Avengers Endgame at $360 million, the biggest opening in box office history. And we haven't had the international estimates updated or confirmed yet. But right now it's sitting at $930 something million for its opening weekend, almost $1 billion. So by Saturday, I believe, it had already, Spider-Man Brand New Day had already outgrossed the entirety of the DCU. Remember that cultural phenomenon hit known as Superman's James Gunn that everybody loved, that fucking crawled to $600 million, was completely rejected by the international audience, and the international audience that James Gunn was trying to please by leaving out truth, justice, and the American way, and it still didn't fucking matter. Yeah, I remember. I remember everybody telling us this is a runaway hit, and it made $3.2 trillion in VOD and merchandising sales and all that bullshit. This is what a hit looks like for a superhero film. This is a hit. And theaters have two massive hits on their hands right now. Massive hits. I like one a lot better than the other. I'll say that. Well, the other one I don't like, and I like this. Is Spider-Man more powerful than all of the Avengers combined? I will answer this question. Yes. Yes. Fake Wizard said it on FNT last week. Couldn't agree more. I'm just interested in Spider-Man movies. And guess what? The general public is. The normies are. Because, listen, I started using the term normies as it relates to AA. So my brothers and sisters in AA in the chat, you know what I'm talking about. So we in AA call the people who can drink, go out there and live your life normally, normies. That's where I got the term from. That's the term for alcoholics, talking about the general public, the guy who could drink half a beer and leave it on the counter and walk away. That's a normie. It's not a derogatory term at all. So normies for film are, they make the world go around. Always said that. They always will. And you don't know which way they're going to go all the time because they're not dialed into this shit every day like we are. And they'll like what they like and they won't like what they won't like. Normies love Avatar. Normies love Avatar. I can't explain it. I don't get it. It doesn't compute in my head in any way, shape, or form. I have accepted it. And the Avatar movies are ass. They're anti-human, fucking pro Green Party environmentalism, anti-colonist bullshit. That's what they are. And pro-colonists, by the way. So normies make the world go round. And normies love Spider-Man. They love Spider-Man. So is Spider-Man more powerful than all of the Avengers, particularly the Avengers in Avengers Doomsday? I think we should put that asterisk in there. Is Spider-Man more powerful than Yelena and Sam Wilson borrowing a Captain America costume, or Ghost, or even our beloved John Walker, who did nothing wrong? Ant-Man? Yes. Yes, the answer is yes. All day long. There's certainly a case to be made after Spider-Man Brand New Day captured a mind-boggling record-setting $360 million in its domestic debut, officially ranking as the biggest debut in box office history, except it's not, but that's okay. After landing above Sunday's estimates, $355 million, Brand New Day has outpaced the prior all-time benchmark of 2019's Avengers Endgame with $357 million, not adjusted for inflation. That's important, okay? That's important. Now, if we're just doing one-to-one comparisons, that's fine. But it's still huge. We do not want to take away from how big this is, because this is the follow-up to No Way Home. There is no Toby. There is no Andrew. And we have Tom Holland not only carrying a Spider-Man movie on his own without Iron Man or anything else, it's him really embodying the character at this point. Some may disagree. That's fine. Spider-Man Brand New Day and Avengers Endgame are historic as the only two movies in history to cross 300 million in a single weekend. That puts those ticket sales in perspective. Those behemoths earned around 100 million more to start the third and fourth largest domestic openings, which belong to 2021's No Way Home, and with 260 million and 600 million worldwide opening weekend. And 2018's Avengers Infinity War with 257 million. The top four biggest debuts in box office history belong to Marvel Studios. Well, not entirely. Spider-Man Brand New Days, Sony and Marvel's fourth comic book adventure starring Tom Holland and Peter Parker launched a truly heroic $932 million globally. That's amazing. Oh shit, I just did it. I didn't mean to do it that time. A benchmark that few films achieve by the end of their box office runs, much less after the 3 days on the big screen. It's the second biggest worldwide debut, trailing only Avengers Endgame with $1.2 billion. That's a big opening. Okay, here's Tom Rothman. Famous. What's so funny about this statement is Tom Rothman hates superhero movies. Wow, 360 million thank yous to all the filmmakers, actors, producers, and to my colleagues at Sony who created such a fantastic film and an exceptional marketing and distribution campaign. Fucking spoken like a true. You made a great film and an exceptional marketing and distribution campaign for our product. Says Tom Rothman, chairman of Sony Pictures. Records are made to be broken, but we will take great pride in this one for as long as we hold it. He missed somebody in this thank you. Thank all the people involved. That's great. Who did he miss in this thank you? Chat. Kind of a big thing. Who did he miss? The customer. Thank you very much. Where's your fucking thank you for all the people who went out and bought the fucking tickets? Dear friend who said pure capitalism. As much as I'm a big fan of the free market, right? Big fan of capitalism. But what's practiced today is not capitalism. It's corporatism. It's corporatism. That is corporatism. But yeah, I would like, it didn't even cross his mind to go, and all the people who got in their cars and took little Jimmy and Sally to the movie to go see Spider-Man. Or if you're in Southern California, Enrique and Alberto, you took them to go see Spider-Man. And it never crosses their mind. That's one thing I noticed. I'm sure you have too, in most of the acceptance speeches when they're not yammering on about politics at award shows. They never go, "Hey, thanks for going to see our movie," by the way. It's a simple thing. Now, they did, thanks to Tom Cruise, they are now starting to regularly do the, "Hey, thank you for coming to the theater," right before the movie. I think those are good. I don't care if I think those are good. You need to do that. You're practicing good customer service there. There's another thing I wanted to. Is it in this one? Oh, I wonder if they changed the article or if I read it in a different one. So, shit, I don't know if it might have been Deadline. I'll just paraphrase it for you. There's an article out there going, Tom Holland, how they'll affix an actor to a box office total. And they're, Scarlett Johansson is the biggest blockbuster actress of all time, because she's been in some big movies. Well, they started to they're like, it's the best Tom Holland opening. It's also the best Zendaya opening. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, stop. Nobody's coming to this fucking movie to see Zendaya. Nobody. Don't affix Zendaya to this movie. Okay? She's not even MJ. Now, to the film's credit, I hate the fact that they call her MJ, but it's Michelle Jones. Michelle Jones Watt. Watson. So she's not Mary Jane. But nobody is going to see Spider-Man for Zendaya. I think that might have been the Deadline article where like it's the biggest Zendaya opening. It's like shit. Fuck, shut up. Stop it. Yes, she's also the star of The Odyssey and Dune. Dune Part 3. People see it despite of Zendaya. Yeah. I don't know what article that was in, though. Is that there? It is. Thank you. It was the Deadline. So far, this is the biggest opening for Zendaya. Like, shut the fuck up. And John Bernthal. Let me tell you something. And director Destin Daniel Cretton outstripping his all-time Labor Day weekend opening with Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, a movie that was such a box office juggernaut that they promised poor Simu Liu a sequel and then never gave it to him. They said, hey, little buddy, you can come in our movie where it's basically Battle of the Marvel Studios stars. You can co-star with 75 other people. Thank you, X-Ray Girl. And the 10 bracelets or bangles, as likes to say. The 10 bangles. But after Dune 3 comes out, and with the Odyssey, at the end of this, at the end of the year, you know, give me just a second. You know, the article will be written. I predict before the end of the year, we're going to get Zendaya is the biggest actor in Hollywood right now. She brings in the most box office. Dune Part 3, Odyssey, Spider-Man Brand New Day. They're absolutely, yes, Zendaya is Hollywood. And I don't hate Zendaya, okay? I think she's fine. I think she doesn't make a shithead of herself on the red carpet. She seems nice. It's nothing against her personally, but it's Hollywood gassing her up. That's I mean, honestly, yes, you want to take the money in the jobs while you can, but if you want longevity, especially if you're young, you got to think about what it's an important thing to say no to some things and showing restraint. Thinking about the future, going, do I want to cash in on this now, or do I want to maybe stay away from it and look at the big picture? So we'll see. But she's not like overexposed like Pedro. Pedro's just annoying everywhere. She's getting there though. Not annoying like Pedro, but overexposed. But that article will absolutely be there by the end of the year. They will be singing songs about and writing stories and oral traditions of Zendaya being the greatest actor in the history of Hollywood and her generational run, as the kids say. Do they still say it? I don't know. I don't care. In 2026, when she starred in Spider-Man Brand New Day. The greatest scowling face. That's right. So, yeah, I'm going to see Spider-Man again. I thought it really captured Spidey. It's got its problems. I talked about it in the review for me. A lot of people are scoring it higher. That's fine. Some of my friends are scoring it much lower. I'm looking forward to that. It's all good. I am happy that yes, there is some Disney Marvel elements. Yelena's scene is a complete MCU scene, and then the as I mentioned in my video, the misunderstood, victimized female antagonist, which is a very Marvel thing. I think that was an easy fix, and they didn't do it at the end. You could have easily fixed that. It would have been a post-credit scene, a better post-credit scene than they had. And they could have fixed my issues with her murdering people. And yes, Jean Grey has lost it in the past. She becomes Dark Phoenix, for crap's sake. So if you're setting that up, and what I heard from my friend who worked on it is you're setting up the moral ambiguity of the X-Men, and you're doing it through Jean Grey, and you're showing how dangerous these you're establishing that humanity kind of has a point. And I'm not against this. They kind of have a point with like, oh shit, we have these things popping up, these people popping up who can become invisible. You know, it's a concern. It is, especially when you can, I don't know, mind rape people, which is what it was. So she had a guy walk in front of a car. But more importantly, she did this 1 kilometer mind wave that froze which was 1 kilometer in New York City. That's 1 million people. That's a fucking million people. So some of them are operating machinery. Some of them are driving cars. Some of them are riding motorcycles. Some of them are just about to get on the train. Some of them are in that moment of, oh, if I get interrupted, like something could happen, you know, in the midst of an accident that maybe gets averted, but maybe not because you just got mind raped. There's helicopters flying over, I would guess. Does the wave go up? How far does it go up? Does it go 1 kilometer up? I don't know. So some people are dying. I don't know how many, but some people are dying in that situation. They just are. It's the same with the blip. You bring everybody back. Okay. How many people were in planes? If we want to get really crazy, what was the position of the Earth 5 years earlier? Because it wasn't where it was. Did a bunch of people just, I mean, actually, everybody who came back should have been in space. It should have just been blipped back in the vacuum of space. So, yeah, there was a lot to think about. It's just like with the blip. And I think this could have been avoided. But this is how you're setting up your X-Men. It's a strange way to do it. And my easy fix was she willingly goes and turns herself in. And then you have a post-credit scene of you see a wheelchair, like just the bottom of a wheelchair. That's it. That kind of fixes it. And not killing anybody. But even if she did, I still think that makes it's better than, oh, we're going to let her go. It's like, you almost had me at a much higher score. But the Tom Holland Peter stuff was, and Spider-Man stuff was fucking awesome. It was great. Savage Hulk is back. I didn't think I was going to like PG-13 Punisher, but I did. He hammed it up a little bit too much in a lot too much in a couple of scenes. When he's shooting at the Hulk, and he's like, oh! I was like, oh. But the what you're going to see a conversation about, is there an article on this? Hang on. Oh, that's a good one. We'll get to that in a second. What the heck is Marvel doing with Hulk anyway? We can answer that. Nothing, which sucks, but there you go. So the questions of superhero fatigue, and superhero fatigue is dead. And as I said earlier, superhero fatigue, like everybody says, is from too many bad movies. If things were mediocre, they'd be fine. Talk to me when we can have a runaway hit that isn't an aging Hugh Jackman, like isn't a gimmick. So will know they're healthy again when you can introduce I don't know, let's take a character like Blade. Blade, pretty simple character. He kills vampires. Pretty easy premise. He kills vampires. And you take that and you just have Blade killing vampires. Make it rated R. Bloody, sexy. And he kills vampires. And that does well. And you do a Blade movie at what? Make it a $70 million budget. And it goes out and makes $400 million at the box office. That's great. That's what you need to do. And I still think there's the energy and enthusiasm for that. The problem is that once these studios, they're like the government. Once they start spending a bunch of money on their movies, they can't backtrack it. So as you know, with the government, the reason spending goes nuts is because you have your allotted budget to department, whatever fucking department it is, some useless fucking department that could be closed. And if they go under that budget, they will get less money. So they always make sure to get to that budget however possible. That's the same thing. You get less money. Hollywood does not like contraction, and that's what it needs. It needs to get smaller, smarter, leaner. Unions don't want leaner. Unions do not want leaner and meaner. And honestly, neither do the corporations either. So that's gonna be a big problem going ahead, because they need to just make cheaper superhero movies and maybe ground them a little bit and not have everybody fighting a giant beam of light in the sky, or a misunderstood, victimized female antagonist. Like have them fighting an evil bad guy. Now, I said it in my video, black guy's a bad guy again. That's good. Let's have some women taking accountability. I think that would be a good logical next step. Don't you? But when we'll see with Ghost Rider. Even Spider-Man, they had to throw in Hulk and Punisher. Hulk's not in it very much. Punisher is. But this is probably as close to like a pure, well, it's not though. As close as we're going to get to like a solo, like Spider-Man doing stuff by himself. Although he's not, because he's got Evie, a very expensive AI. But holy shit. A good performance can carry a movie for me. A good performance, a character I relate to can carry a movie, and Tom Holland just fucking killed it. I never thought I would say that. But he was so good. But I think if they want to avoid superhero fatigue, they need... Listen, a bunch of us wanted the interconnected universe before it happened. Every comic book fan, right? Like, I want Hulk interact. I want to see Punisher and Spider-Man fighting the Hulk. Yes. You could maybe leave out Yelena fighting Yelena as Mystique. I could live without that, but that's the shit we wanted to see. We wanted to see, I don't know, the Silver Surfer and Galactus, not female Silver Surfer. Like this is what we wanted, the interconnectivity. But now that we've seen it and the way that Hollywood has done it, and the degradation of Marvel, where everybody's just wearing boring tactical suits and they do this to put their mask on, is it's gotten very stale. So now they need to not do that anymore. They need to stay away from the cinematic universe. I think the DCU has put the final nail in the fucking cinematic universe coffin. It's not that the MCU is going to stop. But if DC wants to survive, they need to fire James Gunn. They need to bring on somebody who knows what they're doing, and they need to do one-offs, which they could adapt all day long. DC can adapt one-offs that just, they're singular stories. We're not even starting a franchise. We almost got an animated Kingdom Come. And you know who killed that? James Gunn. That's right. Release the Batman Part 2 ASAP. If ASAP, Elytron, if ASAP is 2028, animated by Disney. Not Disney, sorry. Slap me for saying that. By DC. So Kingdom Come animated, Alex Ross said this, that they were working on it. I don't know if it would have been good, because let's be real, the animated universe for DC hasn't been good lately, although Nightfall looks, I can't wait for Nightfall. Yeah, James Gunn killed the project, according to Alex Ross. He was involved in it. Now, it would have to be CG, but imagine animating it in the Alex Ross style. That would be crazy. What's the hate for James Gunn? It's not just James Gunn, but it comes from him decided to make it, and it's not hate. It's just I'm absolutely going to poke at him as much as I can, but it's not hate. It's a thorough dislike. James Gunn has become a one-trick pony. James Gunn came out and made himself the face of the DCU. Not Superman, not Batman, not Wonder Woman, not even his beloved Supergirl, James Gunn. And yes, Spider-Man, that's why it's an easy call, chat. I'm not saying I was some Nerdstradamus with this. Spider-Man beating Superman and Supergirl, pretty predictable. The fact is that Warner Brothers came out, gassed up a movie. They brought in James Gunn because they were for sale. James Gunn comes out, talks a lot of shit, which is fine beforehand. Why wouldn't you? You had an entire studio given to you. And I think he was given too much too soon. It went to his head. He cast his wife and everything. But James Gunn's a liar. That's why I call him out. He's a fucking liar. He comes out and lies all the fucking time. James Gunn lies. When you don't have to. And when it's obvious, it's a lie. So yeah, I'll call that shit out. And I'll call him out. I have no problem. And neither does he. Don't cry for me, James Gunn. Don't cry for James Gunn. He's very happy sitting on his millions of dollars, and he got DC's money, and he bullshitted his way in. He was way over his head, and he's like, I can figure this out. They just offered me I'm a co-CEO of DCU. You believe these idiots? They just want to get at Marvel. And they, it's not unlike what happens in the comic books. Poaching each other's talent. It's been happening for years. But with James Gunn, he just wasn't ready. And we got to, we have to also mention Peter Safran. Peter Safran, who doesn't have the best record of producing in the world. But there you go. I wonder when Spider-Man Brand New Day hits 1 billion. Could it be today or tomorrow? Yeah. Whew, was I wrong on that Supergirl box office? I was way too nice. But let's get into Marvel being racist. What's this? It's what is the complex? Oh boy. There we go. Marvel's treatment of black-led projects under scrutiny after Wonder Woman and Blade cancellations. Mahershala Ali spoke about the fate of the Blade reboot, which was canceled after 7 years. Marvel's treatment of its black-led film and television projects is under renewed scrutiny after 2 significant steps back for the company. Just this week, Mahershala Ali, maybe I'm saying that right, I don't know, confirmed he has moved on from the long-delayed Blade reboot, and Disney Plus officially canceled Wonder Man, a show it had renewed for a second season just months ago. The shocking news comes after Ryan Coogler, director of Black Panther, announced David Johnson would be playing a role of T'Challa II, or T'Challa Jr., as we like to say. So I'm glad they brought up that they just announced a Black Panther movie where they could have recast T'Challa. But they bring up Wonder Man. They bring up Blade. I think there it is. There it is. Marvel doesn't care about black people. Wonder Man season 2 canceled. Blade 7 years in development hell. Black Captain America sidelined. Armor Wars. Black Lead being swapped out for a new Iron Man movie. Moon Girl canceled. Monica Rambeau. Where the fuck is she? They actually went, where the fuck is she? Right here, because unless they said what the fuck is she? But I'm guessing they meant where the fuck is she? And the fact of the matter is, Ryan spoke about this on Geeks and Gamers Daily and is 100% right. Disney Marvel did try. They did play the diversity and inclusive game, and they lost. But you cannot get on their ass for not trying to prop up new characters, race swapping characters, giving them hundreds of millions of dollars to produce TV shows, and they didn't get a return on them. And we knew this would happen because the general public, the normie, is not interested in that. If you go back to the data from the comic books, which is something I have been talking about for years on this channel, which is your data. Actually, Disney has more insight to the actual sales of Marvel Comics than anybody else in the world. And you could see that maybe this wasn't a good way to go because it completely failed in the comics. But somehow they talked themselves into thinking it would work in the movies. So what you do in Sam Wilson's case, you have the second black character, major black character created by Marvel Comics. He's his own character. People like him. People like Anthony Mackie as Falcon. And you fundamentally change that character. So you take somebody that people liked and turned him into a really annoying character. And make shows about him not being able to get a bank loan. And in the height of the Summer of Love and BLM, you release The Falcon and Winter Soldier. One of the most hateful pieces of crap Disney Marvel has ever produced. And it alienates fans of all makes, shapes, and sizes because they see the pandering and most understand Disney Marvel doesn't care about you. Doesn't care about me, doesn't care about you. They will use whatever cause they think they can get a buck out of. They will convince people that you are literally fighting racism if you watch Black Panther. And that works so well, they ran with it. They tried the same marketing technique with Captain Marvel. And they see it as a success. And maybe conveniently leaving out that it was sandwiched between 2 of the most anticipated sequels of all time. But then they continued on Disney Plus. This is where they did the most experimentation. And here, I'm trying to be fair. What Disney Plus Marvel show can be considered good? I'm going to be fair here. That's live action. So not a special, not X-Men 97. That's live action. None. That would be none. That would be 0. So you can't blame Disney Marvel. You can blame them for a lot of things, but you can't blame them for trying. They did. And a quote that I heard from somebody that Kevin Feige spoke is, "We've done our bit for King and Country. We're going to move on." Now, I haven't seen that yet. I'm not convinced, considering Yelena is being forced down everybody's throat. Mahler brought it up on FNT. I think they should line up the women and the diverse people and see who's the most marginalized from Disney Marvel, because both of them probably have an argument at this point. So Disney Marvel, racist, sexist, confirmed. We're back in business, boys. We're back in business. But what did they think was going to happen? You know, and you should have recast T'Challa for Black Panther 2. See, Black Panther 3 isn't Black Panther 3 because there was no Black Panther or Black Panther 2. There was Shuri in a Wakanda Forever movie where she becomes Black Panther Shuri at the end. What a wacky movie that was. A movie about a bunch of immigrants invading an isolationist ethno-state. A lot of people liked Loki, and that's fair enough. I didn't. I think Loki did horrible damage to the overall MCU, to the entire Infinity arc, to Thanos, to the Infinity Stones, and to Loki. I think it did a lot of damage to Loki. But you can't argue it was the most popular of the bunch. WandaVision, I thought, as kind as I can be. WandaVision, I thought, started out okay. I was like kind of into what they were doing. And then it ended so fucking horribly. So abysmally bad. It's almost beyond describing. They'll never know what you sacrificed for them. Whew. Yeah, Wanda enslaved a town of men, women, and children to the point where some of the children couldn't get out of their bed. All for her fantasy of having her dead husband and non-existent children, because she's a woman grieving, and that makes it okay. And then when she could actually face some consequences in the Doctor Strange movie, Doctor Strange goes, die. Oh, and then it brought us Agatha, which might be the worst crime of them all, which is weird because Vision Quest is coming out, and it's supposed to be the third part of the trilogy. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out. It's Terry Metalis. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out. James Spader's coming back as Ultron. Todd Stashwick is playing Paladin. There's only one Vision Quest, Matthew Modine. Oh, dude. That's the bike riding movie from like the 80s. But Marvel tried really hard. Kevin Feige set out to make half the Marvel universe female of the major superheroes and villains. They put the effort in. They put the money in. They backed it up, and they failed. And they're back to we need to be profitable now. And it was only because they were forced into this. It's not like they woke up one morning and go, you know what, maybe we've gone a little bit too far on this one. We're pissing off too many fans. Because as Lucasfilm found out, half your audience being pissed is not good. It doesn't matter how many people are talking about it. Now, you're never going to get 100%, of course, but you want most of them to be happy it was all right. That's what you want. That's reality. And they went on and on and on. And now we're at Avengers Desperation. That's going to come out, and people are questioning whether or not its opening weekend's going to beat Spider-Man Brand New Day. They even openly questioned it in Variety. I think Doomsday is going to have a really big opening. And I think it will get close to Spider-Man Brand New Day, maybe surpass it. It depends on how the marketing is. And I'm talking about the normies again. I read the spoilers. I think it would be a miracle if we got a good story out of this. That last trailer wasn't great. The Comic-Con trailer that they showed is better. But I mean, I think as was the first one that I heard say it. I say Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to make more than Doomsday. I think he's going to be right. It depends on how. The thing with Spider-Man Brand New Day and Odyssey, as we've said before, is there's nothing. They've got the rest of August and September to. This could go 2 months. They could leg this out. What Odyssey's tracking at 1.5 billion, and then I don't. We'll have to see the second week drop. I don't think Spider-Man Brand New Day holds on like the Odyssey, because generally superhero films don't hold on. Now the Odyssey's hold on the box office second weekend is similar to movies in the past. It's rare to have something under 30%, but some of the Toy Story movies, but they didn't have as big of an opening either. You know, films that in history have legs. Oppenheimer. That's another one too. Now, as you know, massive global success, selling out IMAX, cultural phenomenon. And it's a really bad movie. That's just a bad movie. So I guess Spider-Man's going to be in IMAX this Friday. I thought Odyssey had it for 2 weeks. So the first 2 weeks of Spider-Man's opening, I thought Odyssey had IMAX. So there are some people reporting that IMAX is giving up screens from the Odyssey. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Maybe it was just they had it for a week after Spider-Man. Don't know, but you're going to be able to see Spider-Man Brand New Day in IMAX soon. You can see it in the square. Platoon's fucking Platoon's audio. Part 2 came out, by the way. He opens up with fucking cart. I was dying. How do you get away with that, Platoon? How do you get away with that? Oh, it was so good. Yes, August 7th. Again, I'm seeing people trying to rationalize Sadie Sink's murdering at the end of the. I think that's a tough argument to make. But there was a fix. There was an easy fix that they didn't do. But I think it's a tough argument to like. We don't know. I only saw one confirmed kill. Love Angry Badger. He says that's a survivable. 10% survivable. Survivable, like. His spine is done. Like, so if he survived, he's in a wheelchair the rest of his life and eating out of a tube and shitting into his bag and never having sex with a woman again. So that's death. And then the guys who got shot in the knees, I don't know. I've personally, thankfully, never been shot in the knee, but I'm guessing getting shot in the knee hurts and causes a lot of damage, and you might never walk again, or you won't walk normally again, or it's months, years of rehabilitation. You lose your job, that cushy job at damage control. You're on disability the rest of your life. You get hooked on pain. I'm going all the way down. You get hooked on oxycodone. You lose your wife and kids. But she didn't kill you. That dude on the bike was dead. That kid, holy crap. The kid that Spider-Man saved, he was going to get splatted. And I like Spider-Man kept it calm. He's like, you're okay. You're okay. But yeah, poor guy. You know, he got his, you know, he got out of the military. I'm going to play this whole scenario out. Dude gets out of the military. He's got his bennies, but he still wants to do something with his life. So he joins up with this organization called Damage Control, which is sold to him as this great organization that, like, these superheroes are out battling, you know, and we're here to keep them from hurting the innocent and, you know, cleaning up their mess, keeping alien tech from getting in the wrong hands. I mean, this is a higher calling. This is great. And we need people with experience. He gets his job. He tells his wife, I got this great job. And the bennies are fucking unbelievable. Right. And then the Punisher, mind controlled by some teenage girl, shoots him in the knee, blows his kneecap off. And everybody's like, it's fine. Doesn't even give him a second thought as his life spirals into oblivion. And then one day, Jean Grey is all welcome back into society, and she's got her Marvel Girl suit. She's walking down the street, and she walks past a fentanyl zombie, and it's that guard. It's that damage control guard that she shot in the knee with the Punisher. The same Punisher will let her go. And he's got his little begging cup. And she just ignores him. She just walks by like he doesn't exist. Which is the worst of all. She doesn't look at him to feel sad. She doesn't give him a little money. She doesn't use her Omega level telepathy to make him feel better. She just doesn't notice him. He's nothing to her. Just another fentanyl zombie human. But it's okay because she's a woman. Oh my God, people are starting to go to Vegas already? I see one guy. Fuck him, chat says. Listen, Zack Snyder collateral damage is going to happen in superhero stuff, right? And it's how you deal with it. And I think the one thing I did like in Homecoming and Daredevil is they had consequences of the Battle of New York, and it looked like the next arc should have been like street level, like, oh, huge alien battle, and now all this tech is in the hands of a bunch of humans, and you can create a ton of villains and scenarios through that for a whole phase, right? And then focus on your street level characters. That would have been pretty neat. So what they did with the Vulture and Michael Keaton was good. Was really good. And Daredevil, you know, like Fisk and that Madame Gao, who passed away, the actress passed away. I fucking loved what they did with that. And I thought that was the course they were taking, and then he just forgot. But with Batman versus Superman, that was a way of dealing with the collateral damage. The thing is, that was never my problem with Man of Steel, was the big fight with Zod and them blowing the shit out of buildings. It's like, have you seen Justice League Unlimited? Do you see his battle with Darkseid? I mean, it's a cartoon. They're fucking going through buildings and destroying like half the city. That's pretty normal. That's pretty normal. But you make a little effort as Superman trying to save people too. And that's the one thing that Avengers, in my top two all-time MCU film. They show they're saving people while the destruction is going on. But no, my issues with Man of Steel are not the destruction. Pa can't. That's my issue. And it doesn't get any better. They just didn't want him to die of a heart attack like he did in the Donner film. But if it works the best, just do it again. It doesn't matter. It's a different film, and it's like, it's fucking Superman. All right. You know, that's the same logic as like, I couldn't make nobody work, Mr. Nolan. It's like, ugh. They get a little high on their own farts. Jonathan Kent dying of a heart attack shows that even Superman is helpless in certain situations. Although there are scenarios that Superman can stop a heart attack. There are. There absolutely are. No Elon today. Yeah, we're not having Elon on the show today. I mean, usually he shows up, but he's busy. No. What, did Elon say something? I mean, he always says something. Next, dude, you know it. You know Hollywood so well. And it's when you can recognize, again, like the argument about Brand New Day or Man of Steel, that's nerd shit. And like, argue about it all day long. I love it. I don't want to, like, I look forward to a day that will never happen, that we're not like, Jesus Christ, they're doing this intersectional feminist thing again by shitting on the main character, which Marvel has done. Moon Knight shit on the main character. Doctor Strange shit on the main character. Hawkeye shit on the main character. Although Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye wasn't really the main character in the Hawkeye series because the credits are all about Kate Bishop. She's the main character. So they're always diminishing the male characters to prop up it. Listen, Odyssey diminishes the protagonist. It just does. And we see it over, like, God, we've seen it so much, and it's predictable at this point. So when you see, and listen, I know there's arguments against it, and I'm open to the debate, but Spider-Man on his own for the most part, Spider-Man being a hero, and there's respect, like there's reverence and respect for the main character, which is such a simple thing to do, and kind of the thing you want to do if you want to sell that character, a character who sells the most merchandise, who is the most popular superhero in the world that somehow they can't figure out in the comics for some reason. And no, I'm not kidding you. The Spider-Man's up to issue 1000 now. Now they cheated like hell to get there, bi-weeklies and all that shit. And they've changed the numbering multiple times. But Spider-Man hit 1000. I haven't read it regularly since it's been a while now. The late 600s. So when I say complete run, I have complete runs of certain comics up to a certain number, and then I stop because it's just shit. And honestly, one more day is kind of the end of Amazing Spider-Man. With that being said, Absolute Batman is a hit. Spider-Man comics aren't. They've alienated the audience since One More Day, but then they've made it worse. And they made Peter Parker a cuck. So it's unbelievable that the one place he should be, Spider-Man should always be a bestseller, should always be in the top 10. And we don't know if it's in the top 10 because they don't really count comic book sales anymore. Any comic book numbers you see are from data that is estimated from about 150 comic shops. So that is not accurate, not even close to being accurate. And the old data that we used to get from Diamond was units sold to a shop, but not actual comics sold. So we have no idea, but it's not good. And it's sad. Disney emasculates everything. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I stopped Marvel after Onslaught. You know, that's when I stopped X-Men. I'd kind of had it after Onslaught. I kept reading Marvel, but I read mostly street level stuff and Avengers. One More Day killed superhero comics. One could argue that. That was unbelievable. So, and I mentioned in my video, I lost thousands. One More Day, and I'm not the only comic shop. Believe me, we were fucking furious. And the thing is, Marvel justified it because the numbers were good, because people were curious. But that's one of those things where maybe you just don't do this. They needed Spider-Man to be relatable to younger readers, so they can't have them married. But you alienate the majority of readers because they had missed so many opportunities to get younger readers. Multiple generations have been lost by the American superhero comic to manga. And that's just a fact. And it's because they had leaders like Joe Quesada, who started out pretty good. I was pretty happy with his editor-in-chief reign up until then. Sadie Sink should have been Mary Jane. Maybe. She's Jean Grey instead. And they cast Emma Frost. I can't remember it's Hugo Weaving's daughter. And it's perfect casting. And then I don't know. I forgot who was rumored for. I have read some of Berserk. Berserk's awesome. It's his niece. Thank you. It's his niece. Hugo Weaving's niece. Thank you, chat. Yeah, it's good casting. And the rumored Cyclops guy looks fine to me. We'll see who Professor X and Magneto are. Somebody threw up Jensen Ackles as Magneto. I don't know. All right. I think we should get to the people. Oh, what? Yeah. I want to read this real quick. I want to read this. Now, we'll be fair because I haven't pre-screened this. So it could be a big old nothing. Just want to prepare you for that. Christopher Nolan calls out a real problem in amateur film criticism. With Letterboxd at the palm of our hands, everybody truly is a critic these days, much to Christopher Nolan's annoyance. The two-time Oscar winner recently unpacked a real problem with amateur film critics today, explaining that there is a very accessible modern language of storytelling that they don't see as necessary to filmmaking. A very accessible modern language of storytelling. The criticism that's often leveled at movies in general is, oh, this character has to be made sympathetic, so this character is manipulated in different ways or changed in different ways. He told Beijing, China. He told the commies on their podcast, the host, Shangshu, not Shang-Chi, Shangshu. And that's a fundamental flaw of film criticism. I mean, like China's going to be all, yeah, we don't want people having their say in a way, or storytelling criticism, because to be able to identify the mechanics does not invalidate the mechanism. And that's a real problem in criticism today. Most film criticism from people who are putting stuff up on Letterboxd, or, you know, other places, is just how a movie connected with that individual, right? So I would be careful getting, you don't understand that you felt wrong because you misunderstood the movie. Nolan continued, because people have this idea that because I understand why the story affects me in that way, therefore it didn't work. That's not how storytelling works. So when we create a heroic figure in a story as storytellers, we have to be mindful of the energy that the audience brings to that story and the interaction between our intention and the way the audience receives that. And that the fact that the mechanism is identifiable to people doesn't invalidate it. That's a very analytical way of looking at it. If it works, so if it works for the creator, it works for the creator. Not saying it doesn't work for you. If it doesn't connect with the audience, that would be something as a creator I would be curious about a little bit. But inherently, I mean, he's not wrong about, like, if it works for him, it works for him. But the energy of the audience that brings to the story, we have to be mindful of the energy that the audience brings to that story and the interaction between our intention and the way the audience receives that. He's being nice here. With his latest film, The Odyssey, following that storytelling format, though. Homer's ancient epic to the tune of nearly it's going to be $1 billion soon. It's at 900 and something and counting. Nolan explained the amateur film critics need to understand that necessity for the mechanisms.
All right. Hello, Mr. Nolan.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Well,
filmmakers are bards of the modern age, just like the Greeks know of Odysseus, Achilles, Agamemnon because of Homer's narratives. We know of the Batman, the Joker, and Oppenheimer because of your narratives. And Homer tells stories
stop. Bill Finger, Bob Kane, lots of others, but yeah, whatever.
Distant past. You too. The Trojan War happened between 12th to 11th century BC, but Homer lived in the 8th century BC, so that's a long time ago. But Homer's time was a time of rise. It was a time of civilizational rise. The Greeks were prospering as a culture. The economy, the books, the thinking, everything is on the rise for a couple of hundred years, really until the 5th century BC. So Homer's tone was celebratory. It was victorious. He celebrates the victory of the war, and your tone is emphatically not. So I guess my first question is, does that say something about our age? Are you a bard for a civilization at dusk?
I think that's a really interesting point, a really interesting question. I mean, underlying the main part of the point is this 400-year or so gap between the events that Homer is describing and when Homer's story was written down or first received by readers and audiences. That's a pretty interesting gap. And for me, I don't think I'm completely at odds with the way Homer's telling the story when you look at it from a sort of historical perspective. And the reason is, and what I got interested in, as I adapted it, is that Homer's writing about an era before his. He's writing about an era hundreds of years before that his audience viewed as being more advanced than theirs. So they were a civilization on the rise, but they were trying to get back to where they'd been 400 years before. So that idea of a cycle, that idea of, as you say, a civilization at dusk, I think it's there in the poem. It's subtle, but when you look at the history as well, and you look at the idea that, you know, when they would unearth these walls of old palaces that were crumbled, they called them Cyclopean walls because they thought only a giant could have built such grand walls. You know, they had this idea of the greatness of this past civilization. And so I became interested by that collapse, that what they call the catastrophe, the Bronze Age collapse, you know, what happens between the events of the Trojan War and Homer. And so, yeah, I think it's something that from a modern perspective it's frightening and interesting and intriguing. And I think for me, it partly comes out of having worked on Oppenheimer before this, which is very much a film about the end.
I was waiting for a good spot to end. He's going on. It's interesting if we get into, well, that's Forbidden Frontier stuff, if we get into the Bronze Age collapse, because there's been a lot of things attributed to it, including a cataclysm, which they're kind of sure about, but not really. And it could have been a volcano that fucked up the environment for a few years. But I'm more interested in the question from, what was it? Zhang Shu. Very interesting that somebody from China would talk about the collapse of Western civilization, something they benefited from greatly, by the way, and how that question is framed. That's interesting. So, as far as how people see the mechanism of a movie, well, he makes the movie, he's going to see the mechanism, and it's up to the audience to whether or not they see that mechanism. A lot of people are responding great. I didn't respond well to the mechanism of the Odyssey, where I saw it as a really bad adaptation. A really bad adaptation that takes away a lot of the agency, a word that they like to use, from the main character. And if you want to see a great breakdown of where this adaptation specifically goes wrong, go see Platoon's videos. And Platoon, I don't know how you did it, man, but Platoon is read Emily Wilson's translation. It's all about the mechanism. All right, let's get to the people. Metatron is out there. He ain't letting it go. And that's great. We love Metatron. That was a fun show. It is interesting that he brought up Oppenheimer and how similar the main characters are, right? Dan Hatt 606 for $5 says, "Hail F&T, great show, great panel. Hey Gary, great to hear you're getting into 40K. Want to ask, who is your favorite character so far? Keep up the great work. Love what I don't have a favorite character yet. I don't know. I'm still in the Horus Rising. I'm in the first parts of Horus Rising. But what lured me into it is just the world building, and what I know of the lore. It's kind of, now they announced a animated series being produced by Henry Cavill today for Amazon. Not sure how that's, they should get the people who's been doing the stuff on YouTube, which is pretty good. Gary, have you watched Space King from Tom and Don? I have not. Gorknock, I have not. Hulk Hogan for $5. Well, let me tell you something, Friday night tightoids. When I saw Spider Dude struggling, I had to use my 24-inch pythons. And then it says, rah. Crush Jean Grey, brothers. Remember, Spidites, believe in yourself, train, say your prayers, and eat your vitamins. And then he's back. When I saw Mark Ruffalo claiming to be Hulkster, I said, brother, you're no Lou Ferrigno, who I saw yesterday, by the way, at the Bell County Comic-Con. And I took Marvelous Mark and threw him down with the world's biggest arms before dropping the big leg on him. Yeah. I'm sounding like Macho Man now. Yeah, brothers. He's green with sickness, not strength. And 21 Palika has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership for $5. Thank you. Jesus Davila has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership for $5. And Master Austin has done the same. Talashak. Who should play Sabretooth in the MCU X-Men? You know, I don't think about the fan casting as much as we used to when nobody was cast in superhero films, and now everybody has been cast multiple times as different superheroes. Who would be a good Sabretooth? Army Hammer? I don't know. I think they're going to stay away from everything Wolverine for a little while. Zendaya, yeah. Alan Ritchson? Yeah, he'd probably be a good Sabretooth. New Orleans makes a great Muffalo sandwich. I really didn't like the moment they created Aunt May's death scene after Peter gets shot. At that point, it felt like a parody. Honestly, would have been better if it wasn't part of the MCU. The whole Jean Grey part kind of sucked, says Zinni, for 200 Czechoslovakian pesos. Buster Nut Smash for 20. Is it the same kid that Spider-Man saves from the police car flying at the hospital when he leaves and does the finger thwip? Huh. That kid looked younger. Is that Miles Morales? That's what everybody's asking. Is that Miles Morales? He'd be awfully young, but that would probably, if you're going to pick out Miles Morales in the movie, that might have been it. What are they going to call the Miles Morales movie Miles Morales? That would be funny. Aurora Uplinks for $2. Melina Oak. Email. I don't know why the NA is there. So email Spaceballs Return of the Jedi edit tonight. Watch and share. Did you email it to me? I don't know. It says email na. Timmy Brasher for $5. Is it sad that the 1979 movie The Warriors is a great epic compared to everything else that came out recently in the last decade? It is an epic, actually. It is a bit of an odyssey. Gary, House Bracken is greater than House Blackwood. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Hail the fellowship. Lord Odio, you're wrong. What is Bracken contributed to the world? Fucking what? Bittersteel? That loser? Bittersteel, crying little bitch. Always tried to prop up other black fires. Never really tried to do the deed himself. Held back on some of them that, he kind of propped them up and then didn't. And then, just jacked off. And Essos started, a sellsword group. And his only legacy is that when he died, they dipped his skull in gold. And his only win was he took out Bloodraven's eye. Fucking losers. All Bro Media for $19.99. Watch the director's cut of Troy. Epic. Eric Bana killed it as Hector. The walls of Troy and the pillaging scene look so much better in Troy than the Odyssey version. They were literally throwing babies. Truly brutal. Yes. and there was establishing shots. Richie from the Block for $9.99. Like it says in the Book of Lazarus, never go full retard. This is true. I think Sean Levy asked for a ghostwriter, and the studio misunderstood and gave him Ghost Rider. Oh, I get it. Arg, another name. You might be right. The fact that Ghost Rider is, the thing is, I like the casting. I'm fine with Ryan Gosling playing, and it looks like it's going to be Johnny Blaze. He's a little older now, but I mean, so was Nick Cage at the time. But I think that's like, so that'll be a good movie to see, like, how are they going to approach it as Marvel? Are they going to do the safe thing? Picking Sean Levy is a safe pick that people will probably respond well to because he directed Deadpool and Wolverine, but it's like, is he the right guy for Ghost Rider? Ghost Rider isn't like this quippy, funny. They made it that way with Nick Cage because it was Nick Cage, but Ghost Rider could be really fucking good if done right. And I think Scott Erickson would have been a good pick. Sam Raimi, just forgiving him for Doctor Strange Mom, would have been a good pick. The Warriors was inspired by Xenophon's, and oh my God, I'm going to mispronounce this. Embarrasses. Yeah, I want Ghost Rider to be rated R horror. Blackout's great fucking villain. He's got a good rogues gallery. And yes, I want to see the orb. Where's the orb? Oh, you can't see him. He's a little too blurry. The orb is somewhere on the wall. There he is. Wait. There's the orb right there. The orb is a guy who rides a motorcycle and it's big eyeball for a head. Xenophon. Thank you. Kit Connor is leading for Cyclops casting. I got to look at him. I'm going to see Kit Connor. No. Yeah, something from Etsy came up. I have no idea. James Gunn as the one guy who doesn't nail his wife, says Suresh Campbell for 2. Yeah, some people who really like that stuff. Kale Sign Alucard for $4.99 says number of canceled Star Wars projects to cancel James Gunn's DCU projects. I think Kathleen Kennedy still has them beat. And I think it's by a lot. But yeah, that would be a good count. Can I do it right now? God, I feel this is embarrassing because I'm going to ask Grok. Projects from James Gunn, DCU, and you got to talk to it like it's retarded, you know, which is easy for me. It's like my second language. Canceled from Kathleen Kennedy's or Lucasfilm. We'll say Lucasfilm. We'll see what it comes up with. Oh, dude, absolutely. 100%. It is effing embarrassing. Normally, that's something I would just look up on my own, but man, it could save me some time while I'm on a stream. Can we kindly refer to Metzger as a Faucian character rather than a German military doctor to ground our discussions about the movie in present day? You mean like Anthony Fauci? Like, he's in my review. He's in my review. That Fauci shit was unbelievable. That humiliation ritual. And when they started getting into like, what's the color of the carpet? What's the color of your tie? What's the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution? Dude, it was bad. Bad. Brand New Day was Holland's best performance as Spider-Man. I agree. Gary, are there any good Black Knight runs from Marvel? Runs? Not really. He's got some good appearances, some good single issues, part of the Avengers, but yeah, I wouldn't say there's like this prolific. No, there is no prolific Black Knight run in the comics. Rocky Severino for $10. How would Peter get Aunt May's life insurance when he doesn't exist as a person anymore at that point? That's a good question. He had to have, I mean, he could have just gotten not a grant, but just something from the Stark Foundation. They could have explained that quickly. Aspiring degenerate for 2 Canadian pesos. Age is just a number, Birdman. Leaks say Pedro Pascal is in Simu a lot. Okay. That wouldn't be surprising. Question for Gary. Did Jean have a sister in the comics? Yes. Thanks to everyone on the panel. I'm glad Jeremy isn't here. Oh, don't say that. I miss Jeremy. I miss Jeremy talking about Spiderman. So yes, Jean Grey had a sister in the comics. Joe Santilli for $10. What's up, Pecker Boys and Pecker Gal? Hail Fellowship. We all know the answer, but which movie will have better script and or visuals? Doomsday, Dune 3, or Super Troopers 3? Super Troopers 3. Without a doubt. We'll have a better script and better visuals. Well, listen, I love Super Troopers. I did not love Super Troopers 2. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if it really justified a Super Troopers 3. I would have much rather had a Beer Fest 2. Super Troopers starts out really fucking good. And then it kind of levels out as it goes on. Beer Fest is funny as fuck all the way through. No, Dune 3 will have a better script and better visuals than Doomsday. I think that's a foregone conclusion. Right, chat? Beer Fest 2. Das Boot. Yeah, what happened to Weed Fest? That was supposed to be the sequel. Remember they met Willie Nelson at the end? Yeah, Beer Fest was awesome. Chris Taki for 10 Australian dollars. Hollywood has a really hard time showing the way time elapses. It's a shame with all the tech we have, and they can't visually figure out how to portray time lapsing to an audience in an efficient way. Well, they used to. They just stopped trying. I mean, don't get me started on House of the Dragon. Now, it's not time lapsing. It is the Westeros Express is back. Now, it's explainable in some parts, and in other parts, it's not. It's like, what? Why did he climb through a basement window when he can climb walls? Buster Nut Smash. I think he was just trying to get in. But yeah, he could have climbed up the wall and into his apartment window. But maybe he didn't want to do it outside with his face showing, because they are actually trying to hide his secret identity. Wait, the hand has turned into the Foot Clan from the TMNT movie. Yes, Griff Dizzle. It needed a bigger villain on top and less Jean Grey. But Shad and Mahler are right. It should have been a simple story with Harry and Black and no MJ or Ned. Or okay, you mean Felicia Hardy? Okay, that was never going to happen. Even if Watts came back, they set up Ned and Zendaya. They were never leaving the franchise. Now there was a script out there that didn't include them, but it never made it. There's a Fake Wizard was talking about it. So I looked into it. There were multiple versions of this movie. They changed it a lot. They changed Jean Grey a lot. There's other characters who were supposed to be in. Now this is in the development stage, right? But there was a script without them in it. But I don't think there was, even when I saw No Way Home, there's no way they're going to move away from them. I would have liked them to, but there's no way that's going to happen. Tom Holland and Zendaya are married now. They do have pretty good chemistry, but yeah, it wasn't going to happen. And whether they undid the spell or not, I don't know. Mahler brought it up and I agree. It would have been nice for that spell to have consequences like the Dr. Donna. Like if anybody remembers anything, it all reverts back. Everybody knows Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and it all goes to fucking shit. So that's a good consequence to put on it, which they didn't do. As far as Ned remembering at the end, I agree with the people that it's just muscle memory that he just naturally remembers. I don't think I'm not sure, but what might go against that is they have MJ on the roof where Peter hangs out. You know, that's their place to go. She's there. So I don't know. Lord Botha for $4.99. The difference I'm getting from this is a Spider-Man movie, not an MCU movie that focuses on Spider-Man, which is the first three felt more like, yes, the first three were, we are putting in Spider-Man into the MCU very late in the game. And Watt's approach to it was, we're going to basically do a backwards origin with Spider-Boy, right? And that was my criticism of Homecoming then. That's my criticism of Homecoming now, and it's purely on the adaptation. As far as execution of the three, like I still own Homecoming. You know, I do. And I just don't think it's a very good adaptation. No, it's not a good adaptation of Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man movie in the MCU. And my expectation, maybe it was unrealistic, was the company that owned Spider-Man would adapt him the most accurately, and they're the company that adapted him the most inaccurately. And a lot of Spider-Man fans felt the same way. But those movies all did great. Far From Home, I watched it again recently. I don't like it. No Way Home, I like 2/3 of that movie. First third suck, but I like the 2/3 of that movie. And I like it a lot. It really rallies at the end, and it's got a lot of heart. And that's when Tom Holland started winning me over. But none of it was Tom Holland just being Spider-Man. This is the first one where he's Spider-Man, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. And he's won me over. His performance was fucking brilliant. And I guess people were like, even the people who like the Odyssey, I don't think any of them would go, you know, Tom Holland should be nominated for an award. I don't think I've heard that from people even who think the Odyssey is a masterpiece. I could be wrong, but somebody was, a critic on Twitter was like, if you're considering Tom Holland for awards for the Odyssey, he should be considered for Spider-Man. He's 10 times better. And I would agree. I would totally agree. If we're going to consider Tom Holland for an award, it would be for Spider-Man, not for the Odyssey. He looked lost in the Odyssey, and he embodies the character now. But I also, to be fair, I haven't heard anybody who even said like the Odyssey going, yeah, my favorite thing was Tom Holland. 8 o'clock for 20 says Jean Grey is just as bad, if not worse, than Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier villain. Oh, Freckle Jesus, you're right. No argument for me. But they could have fixed it. At least Freckle Jesus died. You know? God dang. Remember how Freckle Jesus died? So this is how you nerf your main character. Freckle Jesus is being handled with kid gloves by Captain America the whole time. And she's like, I'm going to kill you. So then Sharon Carter kills her, who's secretly a bad guy, who's going to start an arms dealing organization. And we never heard from that was the post-credit scene in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Haven't heard a peep from her. They killed they destroyed that character. But yeah, he doesn't even get to stop the bad guy in his own fucking show. Another woman has to take care of business. All right, to the question earlier, how many projects has James Gunn's DCU canceled, and how many projects has Kathleen Kennedy's Lucasfilm canceled, and what is a higher number? And surprisingly, Kathleen Kennedy's in the head. That's not the lead. It's James Gunn's catching up. Oh, and hell, they've missed a bunch. Okay, they've missed a bunch. So what has been canceled from James Gunn's DCU is an Arkham TV series, no longer in development, Sergeant Rock, Booster Gold, and The Authority. What about the Themyscira show? Oh my God, I'm blanking now. Sorry, I got distracted. There was the Themyscira show, The Authority, Amanda Waller show. There's something else. There's absolutely something else. So Paradise Lost, right? Waller, such imaginative names. I feel like there's something else. And Booster Gold. I mentioned Booster Gold. Swamp Thing. Thank you. Knew I was missing something there. And Swamp Thing. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. For Kathleen Kennedy's Lucasfilm. Kathleen Kennedy, who's now gone. Do you believe it? Like, it's been months with no Kathleen Kennedy at Lucasfilm, and things haven't gotten better. I was told things would instantly get better when she's gone. We have we're going to count this as one, but it's a trilogy. We're not talking about a movie. We're talking about a trilogy. David Benioff and D.B. Weiss trilogy. Rian Johnson trilogy. Boba Fett movie. Rogue Squadron from Patty Jenkins. Kevin Feige Star Wars movie. Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. Guillermo del Toro's movie. J.D. Dillard's Untitled Project. Star Wars Detours. We're not even counting that. What about the Josh Trank? Well, that was Boba Fett. Rangers of the New Republic TV series. The Rey movie, which is never going to fucking happen now. So we're upwards of 10. And I think it missed some. New Jedi Order. Not, Dawn of the Jedi from James Mangold. Additional Limbo. So we're up to, 10 or 12 projects. So Kathleen Kennedy's in the lead. And it's about 12 to 7. 7 canceled DCU projects. And this is purely just off of retarded grok. I'm sure I'm missing something. So 7 projects canceled from James Gunn's DCU, roughly 12 canceled from Kathleen Kennedy's Lucasfilm. I've seen the casting for the Thomas Crown Affair, and yeah, they never leer. I can't imagine that movie's going to do much of anything. Is it streaming? Is it going to be a series? Oh, yeah, the Lando and Droid show. Thank you very much. They left that out, too. So that's 14. That was all announced during that COVID. That was a gold mine for videos, that COVID presentation they did with Bob Chapek. Bob Chapek, who got completely fucking screwed over, but yet has been utterly silent because he was paid so much to be the fall guy for Bob Iger, who never really wasn't in charge. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Frank is a bit better than One Last Kill. Why? I thought Frank was better than One Last Kill because he was Frank. He was the Punisher. He had his fucking skull shirt on the whole time. No, he wasn't killing anybody. But One Last Kill, Jonathan Bernthal, I like him as the Punisher. I do. I think he's an airheaded adult pretender who just recently said that if you don't like pit bulls, you're racist for some reason, which is in of itself could be considered a racist statement. And listen, I like dogs. I like pit bulls. It's the owner. It's not the dog. But yeah. I think he was better because he was more entertaining. He was his character. He played well off of Tom Holland. I thought that chemistry was really good. One Last Kill, I had completely forgotten until we brought it up on FNT, and it just came out a month ago. Buster Nut Smash for 19, and it's not like One Last Kill is terrible. It's not. It's just there. It exists. Buster Nut Smash for 19.99. Here you go. Peter takes Spider-Man photos, which leads him to J. Jonah Jameson, which leads him to Ned's interest in Peter. This leads to Peter coming back into Ned and MJ's lives, restarts the relationships, and makes sense. Or he meets new friends along the way. But the Daily Bugle, they made like InfoWars, and I think it would be way funnier if Peter was a videographer for somebody into conspiracy theories. But in this world, just like in our world, they're right. It would be funny. MJ is the Fauci of gene editing, Spider-Man gene therapy, says Culture Casino for $5. My husband said it best. Season 3 of Rings of Power drama will now be Middle Earth 90210. Yes, Layla. Yes. You've seen Baby Groot. You've seen Baby Yoda. Now get ready for Baby Balrogs coming to Amazon shit show near you. Don't put it past them. They would pull some of this crap. Why not? They've shipped Galadriel and Sauron. I would argue that is far more ludicrous than a baby Balrog. Loved when Yelena said this is smoked potatoes. Sweet. We're just going to lampshade the lower stack story. Spider-Man went up against Thanos. So the fact that this powerless derivative Black Widow is you're dealing with small potatoes. I don't know. It's laughable. And that was an MCU scene. It was. To be fair, Gary, there is body jumping at parties. Yes, there is. Rob for $30.99. My 12-year-old asked why James Gunn didn't stay at home and jump Oh, it's Jean Grey. I see JG. I want to say James Gunn. Jean Grey didn't stay at home and jumped all the way to Metzger. I couldn't answer. Then she asked, why did they let Jean Grey go after all the bad things that she did? I can't answer that one, Rob. I can't answer that one. In my opinion, this set of Spidey movies is a positive influence on the younger generation that are growing up along with these compared to other current IPs. Wonder if I'll have an Az take or a Mahler take. Well, you'll find out. You'll have your take. Okay. That's the most important thing, is you have your take. Take both things into account, but decide for yourself. My theater is sold out and packed for Spidey. LOL, says Logan Misiak for $2. Psychic Girl for $5. They could have saved the whole movie if Punisher had actually killed Jean and if MJ had never invited Peter back inside her house. Well, you can't kill Jean Grey, but for me, they could have saved the movie if she had willingly gone in and locked it and turned herself in. Here, I'm going to look at anecdotally. Let's look at a local theater here. Let's go to here. I'll just look out of my phone. I'm going to look at a local theater and see what the Spider-Man tickets are for a Monday. We'll just do a rando time in a rando theater. Skipping the ad. Spider-Man Brand New Day. So we'll take today at a 6:55 p.m. show, regular theater. Almost sold out. There is in the first and second rows are not filled. Yeah, 6:50 show in Random Theater in Texas. There's 12 tickets available on a Monday. So, yeah, maybe it hits $1 billion today. Yeah, IMAX this Friday, Jose Taco. I won't be in town, though. Yeah, it was strange. Thanks, by the way. He got me good seats at the fan screening, and we went to the theater that got hit by a tornado. Yes, that theater got hit by a tornado. Little outside damage. Saw Spider-Man yesterday and watched the open bar right after. I feel the same way as you, Mahler, and have been called a hater. Sorry if I want movies to be well written, especially for Spider-Man. Mr. Hell Diver for $9.99. You're not a hater, dude. If you feel that way, you feel that way. It's all good. Mahler and I are going to disagree on this movie. And we're still buddies. We talked after FNT. We had a little chit chat. It was, I hate you. And then he said, I hate you more. And I said, no, I fucking hate you. You motherfucker. No, it didn't go like that at all. And I understand where Mahler's coming from. And like my distinction, I'm not going to speak for him. He will speak for himself. He was so filled with fiery anger, from EFAP that like his computer said enough. I can't take it anymore. Or it was the 17-hour video he recorded, a few months back. But he connected with the Watts trilogy, right? As it was, looking at it as a trilogy. Adaptation he didn't care about the adaptation or anything. I'm looking at these three movies and I'm judging these three movies based on purely these three movies. And this is why I connected with them. Totally understand that. I totally do. So if you're a fan of the Watts trilogy, and I say it in my video, your mileage may vary on this one greatly, about what they did to follow it up, because Watts bailed out. Watts was supposed to do Fantastic Four First Steps. Now, I'm not waving the flag for Watts as this great director, but I think I saw what he was doing at the end of No Way Home, and I'm like, okay, I'll be on board for this. I mean, fuck it, I have no choice. So I'll be on board. It kind of, whatever. There's no Uncle Ben, and they gave it Aunt May's Uncle Ben's death, but fuck, the scene was good. The scene was good. Willem Dafoe fucking killed it in that movie. He was so good. So I get it. So that's his perspective on it, right? And he'll give you his opinion. I liked it because it was a Spider-Man movie. And it could be real. I'm a simple man, right? I am. Him keeping the mask on most of the time. You could thank Deadpool for that, of all things. You can thank Deadpool for that. Getting the costume, fucking perfect. Absolutely perfect. That matters to me. And then Tom Holland's performance. So Mahler has a point. How's Peter paying rent? That is a good question that I feel they could have answered in a single line. And I think everybody agreed on that one. So you're left to, Ryan said Aunt May life insurance, or it could have been the Stark Foundation gave him some money, felt bad for him. It's like, oh shit. He just lost his aunt. It's not like he's going to college. So I think it's more believable that the Stark, Pepper and Happy gave him just a bunch of money. And then you would ask, well, why would he live in a shitty apartment? Well, he's trying to be anonymous, trying to live semi off the grid so he can't be found. And it wouldn't be wise to go get, because let's play this all the way through. He'd have to start a trust fund to buy a house so his name wouldn't be affixed on the house. That's still your name's affixed to the trust fund. So it'd be really easy to find you. So it's better to just go shitty apartment filled with asbestos that he obviously could still die from. Spider-Man's not, doesn't have a healing factor that would fight that. But that makes more sense. They just needed to explain it. Holy shit, Mueller. Flounder of the schlong. Founder of the long. I can't unsee the female dominance in this film. Aunt May as Uncle Ben, Jean DeWolf as Captain Stacy, Zendaya being smarter than Peter in one scene. But yeah, that was Yelena and the Avengers, and Jean not being arrested. Jean DeWolf was more of a cheerleader. Anything. Aunt May's dead. So, but Jean DeWolf is Captain Stacy. Yeah, you could probably put her in that role. You wonder, are they going to do the death of Jean DeWolf? Nah, MCU or Sony would never do that. Would never do. I'm sorry, she dies in the comics in a pretty bad way. In a pretty bad way. James Hannafin for $5. Vanity just released an article that Booster Gold is officially canceled as a plumber. I can say James Gunn is circling the toilet bowl. Well, why would you do a Booster Gold anyway? Now, Booster Gold comes after you introduce about 20 characters. Dr. Vapor for $5 says, Gary, you need to hire me to be on FNT. I'll do all the homework and I'll come on when Odin leaves. Do you have a channel? The Me Master for $5. It's 2026 and right wingers are still talking about COVID-19. When the fuck will you guys ever get tired of it? It's a literal dead horse. Stop testing it, for fuck's sake. Just forget about it, guys. Just Stop crying about it. Sure. You lost your uncle, you lost your aunt, your mom lost her business. Your kids missed their senior year of high school, sometimes their sophomore and senior year of high school. A generation is permanently fucked up from this, but just get over it, guys. Forget about it. Just get over it. The Me Master, I know you've brought this up again, and maybe you're just doing it to troll. Pleasure. Truly, I appreciate it. But yeah, just forget about it. It's and there is that sentiment out there. And at the time when COVID was happening, I said we are governed by cowards, and not just the coward politicians, the cowards of society who are so afraid to lose whatever they're going to lose, which they wouldn't have lost, that they just got in line and passed the test that the government was playing on all of us. And they will be able to get away with this shit again. Pretty fucking easy. Is it disappointing? Yes. But it's just reality. Corvo the Crow for $9.99. George is broken. He missed the prime time to release wins. The people he inducted hate him. His fans don't trust him. And Hot D isn't canon. He killed his own magnum opus. Hail. He's good at that. George has been a story editor for decades. He compiles groups of other authors into a genre, i.e. Wild Cards, Twilight Zone, and rides its success. He may have framework, but let a ghost do Game of Thrones. Yep. He just lost interest he got really rich later in life, and he lost interest. He really loved the accolades, being invited to award shows, having the attention of a bunch of young women, which he liked. He doesn't have any kids. When I met him, he had a posse of 9 people around him that he calls his minions. Yeah, he's just living it up. Yes, he should get a ghostwriter, or just be honest with the fans and say, I can't finish it. That's it. Y'all can theorize till the end of time. FNT, could someone please create a video at 2 times speed of Moroccans crossing over to Spain to Yakety Sax, the Benny Hill show? Well, a lot of people have been doing that with the Odyssey. Yeah, that would be funny. That was crazy. Where is Shad's ghostwriter? Is his head in flames? I don't know what that's in reference to. I hope Depp's Ebenezer does well at the box office. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. Dr. Doomlittle, says JC123 for $10. War Van Eagle TV for $4.99. Gary, did you say George R. R. Martin needed to knock out a few Dunkin' Donuts before finishing Wins a Winner? Well, he's done that already. Why do I feel he needs to knock out some of Dunkin' Egg? Why do I feel like I'm watching a Valtrex commercial with the video of Amandla Stenberg? Oh, with Children of Blood and Bone. That's another Lucasfilm canceled project. Andrew Pokey for $4.99. But if white people don't go to see an all black people movie, they will call us racist, just like Black Panther. Yep. Children of Blood and Bone, Asian people are there. Are they? Did I miss it? Chaos Theory? I noticed they still don't have the wheel, says Beefy 5 later husbando for $5. At 8 o'clock for $5, Blood and Bone looks like God of War. Is it Laufey with the generic purple magic? Everybody loves generic purple magic. Super Mastermind for $5. Africans eat the blacks who are albino to steal their magic. This will get ugly. Oh, shit. That's dark. What are the Valerians doing in Children of Blood and Bone? Apparently, Amandla Stenberg is too white to be the character in that movie. Apparently, MJ Bull, to all the people who were for Black Helen of Troy, they're against this. Sure, there's a lot of crossover on those accounts. Nolan fanboys punching the air right now. They are purposefully talking bad about Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's glorious watching their cope. I didn't see any of that. Are you seeing it? Is that happening? I didn't see any. Yeah, it's happening a bit. How very Snyder bro of them. Oh boy. I haven't seen any on my timeline, but yeah. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. This guy for 5 Canadian pesos, Ryan, I'm so excited for your new movie, but I don't think those white dreads suit you. The trailer don't mess with your discourse. I don't know what happened to that video. It's gone. The Bloody Damn Reaper for $9.99. Leave it to the Rings of Power to begin the genocide off screen. The only thing we wanted to see. Damn right. Chris Archie for 20 British pounds. Been following all of you fine folks for a few years, and I wish to thank you for filtering out all the bad shit so I don't waste my precious time. I have not seen what you have seen, and I'd rather it stayed that way. Hail. There you go. Can't get, money you can get back, time you can't get back. It's our pleasure to provide that service. But, the whole echo chamber was a bit off last Friday. Low Pro for $10. It annoys me that they'll make this Children of Blood and Bone stuff, but we still haven't gotten a good adaptation of Imaro, an 80s sword and sorcery pulp series that's basically African Conan, Tarzan, and it rocks. They need to do more of that instead of, I don't know, trying to force things into Western adaptations. Just be authentic. DeAndre Potter and the Stolen Bicycle, says Dark Slide Riker. I can read. Richie from the Block for $19.99. I like Sinners better when it was called From Dusk Till Dawn. Hacks. Hero of Canton for $5. Vader 2 fan film out now. Zero AI. Just love the game from Theory. Yeah, it's animated. It's animated. I watched it. Snacks for $5 said this on Open Bar. Hopefully all of Fauci's accomplices are arrested so we can avoid a Colbert Lord of the Rings. I'd like to avoid that too. And if it requires arresting Fauci and his accomplices, all the better. I'm one of you. I love Lord of the Rings and Game of the Rings. Old man Ian McKellen should reply to Anthony Mackie. Hello, Captain Falcon. We thank you for your service, son. You can't do this all. You can't do this all day. Griff Nizzle for 20 says, y'all keep glazing the BSG reboot. It was patient zero for all this shit. Man, people were pissed. Thing is, though, it was good. But in another universe where things don't suck, I would love for them to adapt the original Battlestar Galactica with the aliens and the Greek and Egyptian iconography with the whole ancient alien thing. Yes, created by a Mormon. A male Starbuck. who was essentially Han Solo. Dirk Benedict was the GOAT. I would love to see that done properly. That would be fucking great. Logan Misiak for 20. Spider-Man 1 and 2 are still the two best Spider-Man films. Yep. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. I think there's a little bit of the prisoner of the moment going on, calling this the greatest Spider-Man film. I would dissuade people from saying that. It's still Spider-Man 2, and Toby is still the GOAT. Andrew Pokey for $9.99. Look at a pic of Wolverine's mask from Deadpool and Wolverine. It looks like two Batmans kissing. Theoden, King of Brohan for $5. I don't want to talk about Rings of Power. I want pictures of Spider-Man. A rapidly deflating air mattress. God, I hate those for $10. Better yet, steak goes in the Iron Maiden, set Rings of Power on fire, then quickly throw it overboard so it can burn and drown. Iron Maiden needs a solid waterproof rating for this to work. Okay. Gary, reminder to say hey to Squid Vicious. Also, Net Steal, Squid Vicious. That's right. Also, there is an angry Chicks in Vegas. Tell Beardo if he can down the number of one angry style after signing a waiver, he can go on FNT. He won't be able to, and he may just die trying. Is that hot sauce? The hot sauce I told him he can down. As I said, if you down that at once, you can be on FNT. I gave him his shot, and he didn't take it. Could have called it Blades Angels. That's what it almost was. Indian Kid, think of the $4.99 Southeastern Kaiju for $5. Blade is a good vampire who hunts and kills bad vampires while wearing cool looking leather and using a sword. Sorry, you lost me, studio execs. I know. Rumor has it that in the ancient 1990s, they were able to make Blade movies, but it can't be proven. Nope. Ancient alien theorists agree. I know Professor X believes in second chances and redemption, but has he ever accepted a serial killer to Xavier School for gifted youngsters? He's accepted some bad people. Yes. Showrunners confirmed a Celeborn Galadriel goddamn Sauron love triangle. Burn it at the stake, then throw it in the Iron Maiden. Idea for MCU show. Just Yelena in her office being the guy in the van to other superheroes. Have her get out of the water once in a while. I mean, just break up the monotony. Curtis Hart for $9.99. Hail chat and panel. Today is my 25th trip around the sun. I saw Tremors Wednesday. Hell yeah. And Spider-Man yesterday. Liked them both, but enjoyed Tremors a bit more. Tremors is awesome. Where is White Vision? What's up, chat? It's later this year. When is Vision Quest coming out? When October 14th. They should have bankrolled Matt Damon as Uncle Ben just to piss on Nolan's Oda essay. Where was this acting in Odyssey? And all three main casts were there. Nolan has become what he hated the most, a dumb fuck director. Says Deep Trip. What did Matt Damon? He said something really stupid. Let's see. Did he really say this? Okay. I know I have it in my bookmarks. It's something about Jason Bourne. I just don't know if it's one of those. Yeah, I didn't bookmark it. Damn it. Let's see. Matt Damon. I don't know if that's an actual quote or if it's just some fucking internet bullshit. Something about James Bond being a misogynist. But I can't verify that was actually him. Not right now, anyway. You got it? Here we go. Thank you. Is this a parody account? It says from far out. It's gone now. There you go. That sounds like a parody account. There's no way fucking Matt Damon. What's this? Oh, why'd you take it down? I was reading that. Ryan Reynolds officially confirms Avengers Secret Wars will be his final time wearing Deadpool suit, bringing his historic meta run to a definitive close. Kind of crazy they're not doing another solo Deadpool movie. Don't you think? I mean, last one made $1 billion. Now this is a character I can't see anybody else playing, to be honest with you. So this is from 2024. The irony of Matt Damon's apathy towards James Bond. He's a misogynist and an imperialist. Did he really fucking say this? I mean, yeah. Matt Damon. Here it is. Thanks. Talking to the Miami Herald, Damon explained rather unforgivingly they could never make a James Bond movie like any of the Bourne films because Bond is an imperialist, misogynist sociopath who goes around betting women and swilling martinis and killing people. He's repulsive. Good Lord. I mean, Matt Damon selling Bond even harder. And what a fucking retard. He's a misogynist and imperialist, and he's like betting women. It's repulsive. They're all fucking hypocrites, by the way. What a retard. Jackson Coley for $10. The hand a lap dog for an American corporation mask-off fight. Punisher never had a friend. That was a red superhero from New York, keeping him from killing, calling. I know. Who's in jail right now, by the way. Common knowledge, shiny and dumb. Cleanse sinner in Jesus Christ for $10 says, movie is ass. It reuses the same scenes done way better in Toby's movies. And the Amazing Spider-Man 1. The Amazing Spider-Man 1 is not a good movie. It's just not. Filled with DEI girl boss Yelena Zendaya, nerfed Jean, kills the purpose of No Way Home's end. No better than No Way Home. No better than No Way Home. The Tom and Zendaya relationship feels so Hollywood manufactured. They seem to actually like each other, but we'll see how long it lasts. Please clap. Gary trying to find the clap button. Oh, I know. I couldn't find it. Eddie Brock for $5.99. How convenient it was for the POC villain to escape. Was she a person of color? Jean Grey's not a person of color. Also, okay. Yeah. Metzger. Also, who the fuck is Metzger? You could have had Walter decline from damage control in the comics. Well, Metzger founds an organization, an anti-mutant organization. So Metzger is from the comics. I'm trying to 1999 he was introduced. Late 90s, early 2000s. Race swapped, of course. JM slap bet commissioner for $10. Like Spider-Man, best MCU movie since Endgame, even with the super obvious bad guy twist. Trailer for Oak Street looks like a direct ripoff of Eric Flint's 1632 and Timescape Spike books. Well, it's Jar Jar Abrams. It probably is. It probably is. I'm going to look it up. Bill Metzger. Steve. Why do I want? That's not the right name. Metzger. Oh, because Steve Rude's name was in my head, and I'm like, I don't know. That doesn't feel right. But yes. First appearance, Children of the Atom, published in 1999. Jason Bourne is a very fucking dull character. Tell me something. How many Bourne movies? 3 Bourne movies? Can you tell the difference between the 3? Could you tell me a distinct thing that happens in a Bourne movie? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I've seen them. I enjoyed them. Didn't think about them very much because they are so, and I hate that they influenced Bond. They're fun action films, right? And revenge films. Bourne is badass. It was really hard for me to see Matt Damon as this badass. He's got this all-American face, obviously crazy champagne commie, but it's an imperialist and he's a misogynist, but he's got no fucking swagger and he's got nothing that's like Jason Bourne isn't going to stand the test of time like fucking James Bond. If he would have, they would have recast Jason Bourne and continued doing the movies, but they haven't because they don't have the cultural impact that a James Bond movie does. Now, the stupid thing about the broccolis and Hollywood is they have a formula that will absolutely fucking work tomorrow. You have James Bond shagging women, nice cars, bring back the gadgets, just don't overdo it. Fighting for the fucking UK on His Majesty's Secret Service. Fucking God. I miss Queen Elizabeth. That it would fucking work. It would have, it's Hollywood is trying to tell you, and dipshit Matt Damon is trying to tell you they couldn't make that today. Yes, they could, and it would do well. And Hollywood knows it. They won't make it today. And I thought the purpose of art was to show us a mirror to society, what's possible, what's impossible. It was supposed to have no barriers, no limits. That's why Citizen Vigilante, not a well-made movie. It's not. But the fact that it exists repulses a lot of people who say that art should have no limits, but they're the ones trying to ban it. They're the ones who go, there's all these, here's your list of banned books in the United States that are all available at Barnes & Noble, by the way. So they're all fucking hypocrites. So they won't make it, but they could, and it would be a hit, and that would bother them because it goes against their values, because this industry that is pretend, that is a multi-billion dollar, multi-international industry, is filled with a bunch of people who actually believe communism's a better way to go and actually believe that their industry would flourish under that system. Morons. Basically morons. Actors are very dumb people. Anthony Hopkins, greatest living actor right now, has said this multiple times, by the way. If James Bond was done right, nobody would bat a fucking eye. They would enjoy the movie. Yes, there would be Salon or whatever, or fucking the Mary Sue going, misogynist. And the fives and tens of the readers of those rags would agree, and the box office would do well. But it's not a matter of can't, it's a matter of won't. Daniel Craig, worst Bond ever now. I think everybody agrees on that. Had a good debut in Casino Royale. Love that movie. Downhill ever since. I honestly don't know how the Mary Sue continues. Maybe because Rachel Leishman doesn't need to eat that much anymore because she's packed a lot away for unemployment hibernation. I'm not sure. Maybe she eats a lot of ramen. That packs on the weight. Listen, I love me some ramen. I do. Cup of soup is awesome. It is terrible for you. Centurion 84 for 5 Austrian pesos. What's FFH? Should have been the first film. Far From Home should have been the first film. No Way Home should have been the second. College montage years with Black Cat Romance should have been third, and Brand New Day should have been fourth. But we have what we got. I was expecting far worse from Ned and Zendaya, and I actually liked it. I did. No one questioned forgetting Peter's identity post No Way Home. Would have been interesting to get a perspective from heroes, villains worked in the comics. Eddie Brock. Well, you know who remembered, arguably, the Hulk. The Savage Hulk remembers Peter. Now, he said Peter, but the Savage Hulk remembers Peter. And maybe the spell didn't affect him because he was locked away with the inhibitor and Professor Hulk. And I was, when Jean Grey was in Banner's head, and I'm like, listen, I haven't read every comic, but based on what I know, the psyche of the Hulk, of the Savage Hulk, is as strong as his physical form. So kind of hard to get in his head. Not impossible. It's been done, but kind of hard to get in his head. And especially with a weaker Jean Grey. So the fact that he knocked her out, I was happy with that. No. I don't know why they haven't done Green Goblin. It's so bizarre why they haven't done Green Goblin. I guess they figure the last two franchises did it. Let's expand his pantheon of villains, and I'm down with that. But like, correct me if I'm wrong. Have they mentioned Osborn? Like, has there been a plaque in the background or Osborn Industries that I'm just not remembering? Scorpion should have been more vengeful against Peter after Homecoming. So much potential for him and Keaton's Vulture. Stop making damage control shield. Well, they're not. They're bad. It would be cool to see Lizard done right, chat. I agree. Ryan likes to be called Squid Vicious, says Ryan Charlton. Just got home from a triple bypass and had no clue I had a heart problem until the chest pains hit. Beware of the silent killer in your chest. Need a poll on fake wizard being cousin Oliver of FNT. Today's Tom Sawyer. He is not the cousin Oliver of F. That's funny. That's funny. I get that reference. I bet it was the woman that made the show late. The women? No. It was me. Eddie Brock for €5.99 says, we never learned what Peter did for a living. How could he afford the tech, an apartment? Does he even go to college? Gene's a murderer. R.I.P. Garbage Man. Yeah, Garbage Man's dead. It's Spider-Man's world, and we're living in it right now. Yeah. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Frank Castle is Spider-Man? Please make Vara a regular on this show. Well, she streams a lot, or we probably would. She'll be on a lot more. And she'll be joining us for the finale of House of the Dragon. We missed Molly last night. We did the best we could without Molly. 50,000 people in a span of 24 hours in a population of 83,000. What was that about? After rewatching the Amazing Spider-Man movies, don't think they age well as The Amazing Spider-Man is fine, and 2 is really bad. Peter becomes Spider-Man out of revenge. Garfield was wasted. Yeah, Garfield is good Peter Parker, Spider-Man. I like him. But those movies are not good. Kirk Indeed for $10 says, guys, I'm super happy. Not only did Spider-Man use the same colorist from 12 Years a Slave, but they also use the same craft service from Schindler's List. That's a reference. We're reading an article and they're bringing in like the film colorist from 12 Years a Slave is working on Spider-Man. And we're like, God, that was my takeaway from 12 Years a Slave was the color palette was amazing. When all those black people were enslaved. I mean, it just had the most beautiful colors. Did I robot? Why am I roboting? It must be the computer. It must be the computer. You know, I really love that sound design from Schindler's List. Yeah, it's such an odd thing to bring up. James Gunn must be baffled by Spider-Man's success. Spider-Man isn't punk, isn't a drunk, and doesn't even eat animal poop like James Gunn's Supergirl. Yes, where Spider-Man succeeds and James Gunn's DCU fails is the superhero protagonist is a superhero that's respected by others and not we don't have side characters talking shit, except for Yelena. Whatever. Hail the Fellowship and Daniel Moore. Forgot to add that in my last super chat. My bad. Hail Nerdrotic from Canada. Also, Jeremy is Jeremy. Thank you for the 5 Canadian pesos. John's gets gaming for $5. Gary, play PS1 Spidey, a kid on kid mode. Well, what else? Of course. It was made before even any of the movies and all the comic. So it's all comics. Married Peter, hilarious Venom, and Stanley narration. I have that game. I have a PS1. Jeremy will be FNT Southpaw. Nick Diorio fans get it. Thank you for the $2, King of History. Biggest super so far. I've been watching for a few years. Thank you, by the way. Cruor for 10 Canadian pesos. I've been watching for a few years, but didn't join the 199 until fairly recently. I love you guys. No homo. A little homo is fine. And can't wait to keep supporting you all. Also, I love MJ. We like Mary Jane too. Mega Man 10 is now a monthly supporter. Oh, we've got some news on the Rumble front. We'll get to as soon as we're done. Sing it, Gary. Hashtag save Stargate. Save Stargate. Fucking, I'm there. I'm a little late on this train, and I haven't finished the series, but I want it saved. I support them. X-Ray Girl's out doing some great work, watching and enjoying Stargate, getting into 90s. So I'm going to have X-Ray Girl watch Babylon 5 afterwards, because she'll love it. It's not as long as Stargate, by the way, X-Ray Girl. It's fewer seasons. Vera, you said you wouldn't trust Netflix to do a Biohazard show. I strongly disagree. They did do a great job adapting Three Body Problem. It's better than the Chinese version done by Tencent. That show lost me towards the end. I was kind of into it. Dan and Dave did it. This movie needs some MC Baba, authentic African music. Oh. Paper Mushrooms, prequel to Sinners? Maybe. Children of Blood and Bone. Mod Eric K for $1. Was Spider-Man mind controlled when he kicked the Punisher through the van and killed him? I have covered this for the force required to do that, and how did they account for him not wearing the mask outside? When did he wear the mask, not wear the mask outside? He was in a jail, and he took it off for MJ. That was it. Maybe if he's like, when he was up on a building. I mean, that's still risky. But he was on the top of a building when nobody could probably see him. As far as like the beating up on the Punisher and the Punisher hitting him with a car and the whole thing, I mean, you kind of have to explain that in the movie, but the Punisher is aware that Spider-Man can take a beating. A pretty good one, too. I cannot recommend Space King enough. It is to 40K what Monty Python's Holy Grail is to the Arthurian Cycle. Also, a great short watch. Would love to see. Would you love Smoo less if he was a full German? He isn't a full German? What are you, some dirty half-breed, Smoo? I couldn't love Smoo anymore. Tangent. We love Smoo. Right, X-Ray Girl? We love Smoo. All right, we'll do the real quick. So Friday, I said, hey, don't know if we're going to dual stream on Rumble anymore. We are. So there. I wasn't aware of things that were going on. So we're going to continue. I am as surprised as you are. I'm going to give I think X-Ray Girl should watch Babylon 5 first because it's just Babylon 5. To watch Deep Space Nine, she does need to watch all of Star Trek. All of Star Trek. Except for Voyager. She can wait on Voyager till after. But to watch Deep Space Nine properly, she has to watch original series in TNG. That's a pretty big commitment, but Stargate's a pretty big commitment. What? Yeah, okay. I thought you said something else, Ian, but you didn't. It's a proper statement. Fulgrim, the Diddy Primarch. I don't discuss money. It's gay. SG1 the GOAT. Everybody loves it. I mean, everybody loves it. I haven't heard anybody say Stargate series fucking trash. Yes, we are. X-Ray Girl has done the work. She has done the work. Oh, yeah, we can't. Oh, that's right. Last Boy Scout. We can't forget Farscape. Farscape's great. I can't say if it's better than Stargate because I haven't seen Stargate. Farscape's great. So Space King is on what? YouTube, right? Okay. Is it like what is it? What is it? Whew, 15 million views. I'm just going to peek at it. A Warhammer parody? All right. I don't know if I'm going to understand all that, but I'll look at it. 15 million views. Not bad. Praise be to Space King. It's worth a watch party. Okay. How many there's more than one chapter, right? Let's take a look. So there's 8 video. Oh, it can be quite long. All right. That's what she said. It could be quite long. All right, we're going to get to Nooner. The Nooner. John Doe for $4.99. Just to put a point on saying no. 14 different studios said no to Forrest Gump. No one got fired for that. You used to be fired for saying yes. Yeah, Matthew for $5. Gary, have you or Chris seen the Children of Blood and Bone trailer? LOL. Yes. Ryan was in tears laughing so hard at G&G Daily yesterday. Look up Cass, by the way. Ryan was in tears laughing about something? Are you sure? Any new insight on the Paramount WB merger? It is not going to go through anymore. Cheers. It is. It is. You have a California AG who was out there trying to stop it and can probably get in the way a little bit. But the fact of the matter is Gavin Newsom hasn't even backed the guy publicly. And people at Warner Brothers still think it's going to go through. It might get delayed a little bit. But if that doesn't happen, does Warner Brothers get sold for parts? Well, that was certainly going to happen with Netflix. If Netflix took over, does Netflix come in and try to buy it? That would be funny. If they stop Paramount, allow Netflix, and nothing goes to the theater, as opposed to a commitment of 30 movies a year. That's a lot. Chris Gore has replaced David Lynch as having the best hair of any man in Hollywood. May David Lynch rest in peace. His weather reports during COVID were great. Make assholes great again. Bring back masculinity. Odd Bob, I agree. But the problem is we have people like Matt Damon out there. Matt Damon. Saying Bond's such a misogynist and he's imperialist. And he's like betting women and stuff. It's just disgusting. That's the kind of shit a male feminist says right before he sexually assaults a woman. Just rewatched Fringe. It was pretty good apart from the season finale. How did J.J. Abrams and Kurtzman do Fringe, but bomb Star Wars? Well, Fringe is also borrowing from about 5 or 10 different shows, but I did like Fringe. Shipka is Gwen Stacy. And Kaelin says it twice. Hail the dynamic trio. Many thanks for keeping us entertained. You're welcome, Gate and Jay. Thank you for the $10. Can't wait for X-Ray Girl reaction stream tomorrow. That already happened for Stargate. Chris, let's write, produce, direct a movie, says Sean YZ. Should ask him. We'll never know what Jean Grey sacrificed for us. No, we won't. Surprise Doomsday is hyped. It looks like people in dark CGI rooms, feels very small and thrown together. The trailers look that way for sure. The Uprising is in September. That's the Andrew Garfield movie. Doom driven by trauma. I just threw up in my mouth. TNA Projects for $4.99. Is Jean Grey in Brand New Day because Doomsday was supposed to release first before it got delayed? I think that has something to do with it. Yes. She's Detective Juanita De Lobo, says Snex. Guys, when is Spider-Man going to be the number one comic book character? The number one comic book character? Well, you're going to have to ask the people in charge of Marvel. Robert Hayes, Chris, you're convincing me to wait until VOD. It's 2026, and Tony Iommi has returned to rock the world. He just released a single on YouTube for his upcoming album, and it's awesome. Love Tony Iommi. Glad he's still out there killing it. Thank you, Philip Johnson. Secret Wars will have Reed Richards defeating Doom and resetting the MCU. Are they really making Pedro Pascal the hero? Okay, Gary, now I know why you said we will hate where this is heading. You will hate where it's heading at the end of Secret Wars, but that is not what happens at the end. Unless they change it. GraphWeb for $2. For fuck's sake, cancel Disney Plus. Magnum Norris for 10 says Americon should be awesome, but I cannot make it because I have a gambling problem, which stems from a drinking problem. Sorry, Magnum. We're not going to be gambling there. We're not going to be in, I don't know if you're thinking of Vegas. We will be in Vegas. Not a good place for somebody with a gambling problem. But Americon's in San Antonio. Leo Kaiser for £5 The guy playing Tombstone in Brand New Day also played Tobias Whale in the Black Lightning series. Well, how many albino black guys are there out there that can act? Remington, PRD for $5. Gary, did you notice the Nightmare on Elm Street Easter egg? It is the bed scene in Ebenezer trailer. I did. It was Johnny Depp's death scene. Mark for £5 proper money. Why not set your show to start 10 minutes earlier? That way you're 10 minutes later when you're technically on time, or maybe even early. I thought about that, but the fact of the matter is, as much as we try, we when we get on before the stream, we do some catch up. Just like, how's the wife and kids, blah 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 blah, and then kind of strategize the show because we don't put a ton of work. I don't put a ton of work into it. And that's, and then, we get to talking too much and it's like, okay, we got to go. Like shit. We started both shows. We started reviewing the Odyssey and Spider-Man Brand New Day, like before the show, to the point where we're like, guys, we got to save for the show. And I'm as guilty as anybody else, but that's what happens. That's what happens. Get to the member chats. We got B Buster has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships. Thank you. And hail all, live long and prosper from Big Worm 69. Hey Gary, on Stewart fails to save the universe. There's a character named Gary dies. I'm not going to take it personally. Isn't that from? That is from. It's a spinoff of fuck. It's a spinoff of the Nerd Show that I never Big Bang Theory. What's funny is when I worked in for Technicolor, I lived with one of the writers for Big Bang Theory. I did, and his name was Gary. Maybe that's who they were talking about. Jay Harris has become a member. Thank you, Jay Harris. Appreciate it. Israel R. His big Israel money here. Has gifted 10 Nerdrotic Live memberships. Thank you. Appreciate it. Alex Belfour has been a member for 9 months. Hey, Gary, when you were in Wisconsin, were you able to get to Freak Toys? And if so, what did you grab? I have, you know what? We got the box and I haven't seen it since. So I went to Freak Toys and I ended up getting a Mego 12-inch Alea. And then I got a Doctor Who. I haven't seen it since I wonder what happened to it. We packed it up, brought it home. I haven't seen it. I got to ask the wife. But yeah, I got some Star Trek and Doctor Who stuff. Nothing big this time. I had my problems with Spider-Man, but I liked it a lot and felt like Spider-Man. I don't care for Doomsday at all. Hail the Fellowship. I think a lot of people feel that way, Sunday West. If Blade Vampire returns an X-Men mutant, how superpowered would he be? Gotta be terrible. He's a vampire. He doesn't need to be a mutant. Making him a mutant vampire. He's decently powerful. Alpha Chad Fanor, been a member for 19 months. Sup, Gary? Will you be attending Big Texas Comic-Con in October? Maybe. Where is it? Oh, is it in San Antonio? Yeah, yeah. I mean, shit. It's in San Antonio. I'll go. Hell yeah. It's not. It's very close to my house. Renamed Disney Marvel Disney marginalized. Well, they're obviously racist. So I'd say Disney racist. Do you think Yelena is being pushed so hard out of retaliation to Scarlett Jo's lawsuit? It seems to be coming from pettiness to me. I think she's being pushed partially. I think she's being pushed hard because they don't have any real prominent female characters, and they see her as the prominent female character now. What's up, Matt? It was great seeing you yesterday. Hail, brother. Johnny Red's a new member. Hail. Jay Harris is gifted a Nerdrotic Live membership. Hail. Thank you. And Aurora Uplinks is a new member. What do you think about the looks of the Street Fighter movie? It looks like Mortal Kombat to me. I'm gonna make a lot of people mad. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. JJ is gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership. Thank you. And he gifted another. And then we have a new member. Zachary. Welcome, Zachary. Leonardo T. Dragon is gifted 1. Appreciate it. And Lord Thoth on his wrench says, Lady Thoth and I just got back from Spidey. She gave it an 8. Me too. It was a lot of fun. Not perfect, but fun. I loved it. Hail, Lord Thoth. And yeah, it could hit 1 billion today. All right, we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you, everybody, for joining me on this Nerdrotic Nooner. We got everything squared up. I'm off to Vegas tomorrow. Yeah, another success for Florence Pugh. It's a Florence Pugh blockbuster, chat. So yeah, off to Vegas tomorrow. And the streams will be, I mean, we're still going to have streams. Obviously no real BBC for me tomorrow, but we'll pick it up when I get there. We'll pick it up when I get there. I'll probably do a Nerdrotic at night or something. But in the meantime, you all have a great day. Thank you to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. I appreciate you all. Yeah, I'm driving tomorrow. It'll just be as V Mahler. As V Mahler. A travel blog or vlog? Sure. I don't know how exciting it would be. It's like, hey, we're in West Texas and there's fucking nothing for miles. Hail Space King. But thanks to everybody who participated in the show, watched the videos. Thank you. And I hope to see a lot of you in Vegas in just a few days. I can't wait. I'm very excited. But until then, take care, everyone.